Yep, I'm toxic. I love Hulk Hogan's dick. My ass is so fucking stretched.
Oh, no you didn't, you motherfucking piece of shit cocksucker. Mark my fucking words. I'm coming for you. For now?
Go, 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 go. It's the money, stupid fuck.
I love it.
Go, 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 go. By eBay. Hell! Hateful slurs. Lame brain pieces of dumb fucking hateful slurs.
Why am I toxic? I love it. Hey, Mr. Burnell, you there? I am present.
Right, I understand. He's claiming that he's got $5,000 a month in expenses and only $5,000 a month in income, and net's about $35.
It's Tevin's fault.
This one's for all my baby girls.
And it starts to click, you know, if someone just keeps saying sorry when they do something, they're not really apologizing, right? If apologizing isn't just words, it's I will not do this thing again because I feel bad about it. If you keep doing the thing, it's not actually an apology.
You have no respect for people that are alive, for fucking people that are dead. You don't give a shit about anybody but yourself. You have no respect.
Apologizing isn't just words.
You have no respect. Do you value money more than our friendship?
But that's the way of them saying, we want nothing to do with Phil at all moving forward. Let's make up a bunch of shit or twist a bunch of shit to make him sound bad because everyone hates him now anyway on the internet. So let's make him look like the villain so everyone will believe it and we'll just be washing our hands of the whole situation and we never have to deal with him ever again. And you know what? Look what's happened. Literally, no one bugs them anymore. Nothing. It's all, they're completely washed. The cans are clean.
You have no respect for people that are alive, for fucking people that are dead. You don't give a shit about anybody but yourself. You have no respect.
Apologizing isn't just words. It's I will not do this thing again.
You have no respect.
Because I feel bad about it.
He watches too much WWE. John starts getting text messages at 6 o'clock in the morning. That means it's like 2 o'clock in the morning there. So now, when you start reading them, you start looking at it, and it doesn't make any sense why he's even texting. And it's not even coherent. So you start wondering if the guy was, like, if he's been drinking and texting.
Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing? I am back. And god damn, I picked a hell of a week to go on holiday, didn't I? What happened when I left? Keemstar drops the whole bombshell about the whole 50k thing, about more details of it. Phil tries to retcon it as best as he can, but makes himself more fucking stupid sounding than he did before. And yeah, it just really doesn't look good for Phil, all things considered, because I like how he tried to spin the whole rent-free thing. Like, as in, you know, he tried to make it sound like we all live rent-free in his head. It's the other way around. The way he phrased it, at least on his own by Twitter, he's like, I live rent-free in everyone else's head and all that shit. No, that's not the case, so it's unbelievable. But because of what has happened while I've been away, being on holiday and all that shit, vacation, I'm just wondering, do we need to change the bingo card? Is there things we need to throw in there? Like, do we really need to throw in Keemstar, for example? Is that something we need to add, considering all the latest drama with it? Does he actually mention Keemstar a lot, apart from the one time where he actually addressed it? I don't know, I've missed all the streams. I literally missed out a week's worth of streams. The only thing I know of is little snippets from here and there, very vague snippets. I've been trying to get myself a little bit up to speed today, but it's been hard because obviously Phil streams 6 days a week, and he's changed his name of the goddamn podcast, so am I going to have to call this a level 1 the DSP Level 1 podcasts now instead of the Bingo instead of pre-stream podcast. I don't know what the fuck, man. I have no idea what I'm going to do. Like, it's what do I need to change? The Level 1 podcast. You know, what I find incredible, personally, Keemstar has gotten into Phil's head so much by doing so little. Like, when the original Level 1 comment happened, he still stuck on Mission 1, you know. I don't think Keemstar actually ever said Level 1. I think he basically said to Phil, you're still on Mission 1. But I think he got taken as being on Level 1 of life or whatever, you know. But as soon as Keemstar said that, what did Phil do? He actually changed what's behind him. This is when he pulled out all the, you know, the PlayStation 5 console box and the Xbox console box. He pulled out the most expensive box shit he had, you know, to try and flex. As soon as Keemstar made that Mission 1 comment to him, Phil literally tried to change his image to try and prove that he was never in Mission 1. Not sure, yeah. Phil was never in Mission 1, he was in tutorial. So how do I start the game? Fuck, man. But I'm saying Keemstar actually has more of an impact on Phil than Phil would care to acknowledge. And obviously he comes out with his offer of 50k for a podcast with two of our prominent creators. Prominent is probably the fairest word to say. You know, they're low cows, yes, but they're prominent, you know. They have an audience, and the three of them together would be weird. It's hard to think of Phil as a social creature who could interact in real time with guys like, you know, Review Tech USA and Boogie. Those guys, I think, can think on their feet. Phil can't. Phil finds it very hard to think on his feet. This is why he rehearses everything. This is why he doesn't actually do React content. He cannot think on the spot of a good thing to say. This is why all the best shit he fucking says comes on the fly. Where he'll fucking say stupid shit because he hasn't got time to think about it. Where he tries to fucking sound smart sometimes, and he's like, then we clip it because Phil said something stupid, and he said something stupid because he didn't have time to actually think of what he wanted to say, because he's not got a mental capacity to say the thing he wanted to say, because he says something stupid instead. In your opinion, I believe Phil considering emails over calls or messages shows that Phil is definitely antisocial. He is not a social creature whatsoever. But Phil is so out of touch with the way the world works, it's unbelievable. And it's incredible he would turn down this opportunity to even talk more to Keem about it. Just because he's being stubbornly selfish and trying to get it going on his terms. I mean, the things that I did see, Phil was like, yeah, he was afraid of it being a phone call only. He wanted evidence of what Keem was going to offer. Because there was no... But he could have recorded a call. Nothing stopping Phil from doing that. Also, it's... I mean, the way the deal worked... I got my job from a phone call. Also, I applied for a role, you know, I had an interview and all that shit. And there was talks and all that shit. But at the end of the day, it then led to me being offered a job, phone call. Like, he's like, hey, you applied for, you know, the job, whatever. Do you want to start on Monday? That was it. I didn't go to him and say, excuse me, can you call me back when I'm not busy? And also, can you give evidence of this job? So people, I can show people the evidence. If you guys say then offer me, no, fuck off. I said, yes, please, give me that job. Give me that job. Yeah, I started Monday and I'm still, you know, years and years later, I'm still working for them. I've moved on up in the place and I'm doing well. It's just, it's funny how Phil's so out of touch with reality in that regard. It really is. Right, guys, it's 6:30. I'm actually at the proper start of streaming time. I'm actually surprised how... I was like, I've actually gained a few subs still, even though I was away, which is nice. But I've heard some bad stuff also as well. Like, Cult of Hate, formerly known as Hate Army Watch, got struck by Superhound. Aqua Teal seem to have also got struck Brim, although I think they've made a new channel again. So that's good, they're back. But Superhound is just really going after people, especially the kind of the raw restreamers. It's funny, like, it's, even though I greatly appreciate what Cult of Hate does, I feel like he thinks what he does is transformative, and I think it is a bit transformative, but I'm not sure if it's transformative enough, personally. but he thought it was transformative enough for not to have Superhound come after him. And I don't know, it's one of those things. So it's like he's got Phil's chat shown on screen usually, and he's zoomed in a bit more on what the original footage is like. And obviously he's got the little intro and outro music as well, and he's got the graphic at the start as well, you know, showing what the clip relates to. To me, that is quite transformative, but the majority of the clip is just basically kind of raw thing of Phil saying something stupid or whatever. It's one of those things. To me, it seems that the guys that are doing the raw clipping are the ones that are targeted by Superhound. I've not seen anything to counteract that. There's other people that obviously do the tractor stuff, but they don't have Superhound seemingly going after them for whatever reason. But it sucks that Superhound's getting away with this shit, man. It really does. But I believe Hate Army Watch, Cult of Fate, wherever he'll be coming back as next time, I'm sure they will be back, and they won't be kept down. They won't be stopped from doing what they want to be doing. Superhound, I think that the Superhound will eventually get derailed from doing what they're doing. There's only so much they can do before it catches up to them that what they're doing is it's one of those things. They can get Phil into quite a bit of trouble. They tried to go after Shinko on Twitter, and he got back pretty quickly. And he seemed to really be threatening not just Superhound and Phil about the possible legal ramifications of it all. So who knows? But this is DSP. Okay, hang on. I have a theory that DSP actually suffers from mental psychosis in a lesser manner. I mean, I think he's autistic personally and doesn't want to admit it or has never been diagnosed with it. But I'm not saying that as an insult. I'm saying that as him genuine, because it's one of those, I think I've talked about it before. I believe that I was going to make a video on why I thought DSP was autistic. Things like his strict adherence to a schedule and him hating to deviate from a schedule is one of the kind of signs of autism. Also, him not understanding the basic simple phrases like, rainy day fund. He actually thought a rainy day fund was to be used when it's raining. He didn't understand the concept of what a rainy day fund actually meant. Things like so he doesn't understand like basic phrases. But it's one of those things. In the end, I never made a video because it's one of those things I don't want to. I was very concerned with how I would portray Phil having this without trying to make it seem like I'm attacking someone's potential disability. You know what I'm saying? So I never went and made that video after all about how I think Phil's got autism, because in the end, I felt that it's also something. There's nothing wrong with being autistic. If people are autistic, they're autistic. But I feel like Phil's kind of borderline autistic and just it's weird. And Phil definitely suffers addiction issues. Look at what he does with WWE champions. By the way, welcome to the stream, guys. Empty Moon, Andrew, Paulette, welcome to the stream. And Phil absolutely does have an addiction problem. He spends as much as he earns on his addiction issues. Every spare penny he gets, he's spending on goddamn DoorDash and WWE champions and all that shit. If you play Sonic, you're on a spectrum. Hey, Empty Moon, I grew up on Sonic. Sonic the Hedgehog was the bomb when I grew up. I was a Sega Mega Drive kid growing up. I had Sonic the Hedgehog too. I love playing that shit. Mind you, if you're a grown-ass man and you want to charge kids to, put on a Sonic cat, then you're probably on a spectrum. That's my take on it. But anyway, we are in charge of the bingo tonight, guys. We're back for the bingo. And I need people's help for this list of words is outdated by a week. Yeah, so we've got stuff here. So as I'm saying, what is relevant here? What's not relevant? Do you want to see anything new added, or do you want to see things taken off? So this is the list, guys. We've got the list in front of us. You guys need to help me out. I was off for a week. I was in the Canary Islands, beautiful island. God, it's just so fucking nice there. Oh, it was really nice. It's nice to be back as well. It's all those things where it's nice to get away and just chill. It's also nice to be home. Is food a choice? Yes, we have food talk on the second line. Look at the second line down. You see, it's toxic, derail, mature, now you got food talk. So we have food talk already in there. The most recent additions we've got to the list so far were things like Here's a Deal, Friends, Hate to Say, Choose, Nails, Stands Up for some random reason other than the break, you know. Had him saying addition, also him giving a thumbs up, and him saying political. Has he mentioned politics much at all during the week I was off? Because he had a few interesting random political takes. I have one choice, help. Help is on here, I believe. It's at the very top line. Look at the right hand side of the top line. It's next to Jasper, okay, and alright. Then you've got help. There's a lot on this list, Ricky, to be fair, Ricky. There's a lot on this list, so it's easy to kind of miss it. But yeah, we got help right there. I'll even highlight it for you. Help. There we go. And we got the food talk here. He was talking about the game developers that were getting harassed. Game developers. Food for DSP is only a choice between sushi and whatever DoorDash a day. He won't eat lunch meat sandwiches. One of my favourite meals I like to make myself is involving lunch meat sandwiches. So I get a couple of wraps, you know, like one of these, just like tortilla wraps or whatever, right? I get a couple of them. I put some Frank's red hot sauce on it. Not a huge amount, but just wee splash of it on the wrap. I put some chicken chicken and ham lunch meat on it. And then put a little bit of cheddar, a little bit of mozzarella, fold it all up, and I put it in the microwave for a couple of minutes. It's a really nice meal. Just chicken, ham, cheese, lunch wraps. Don't even have to have them for lunch, but I have them for lunch personally. It's quick and easy to make. I enjoy them. And it's not expensive meal either. It's very simple to make. It's very quick to make. It's enjoyable for me. A wee kick with the Frank's red hot sauce, you know, it's But Phil thinks it's like you have to be a peasant to do that or something. Is bizarre. Okay, guys. So is there anything? So do people like what's on here then? Do I need to add anything? It's hard. I mean, Ricky mentioned about the game developers that are being harassed. That could be covered under new games. You know, you could see him saying shocked. Him mention new games when it comes to like game devs or something. We could just stick with what we've got, I guess. Have no choice. React. It's already on here, right there. We already have it. I do appreciate you. That's it. Every idea Ricky's had, it's like we've kind of got it here already. But I do appreciate the help I was saying, guys. I really do. It is good to me, but is it weird that I enjoyed my holiday, right? I enjoyed being in the sun, drinking mojitos, you know, and just enjoying all inclusive. But you know, I kind of missed DSP Bingo just a wee bit, just a tiny bit. You know, just a little bit. I missed DSP Bingo. I was like, that's actually, it's the one thing. It's like we make his annoying content a bit more bearable with the bingo. But that's very briefly I thought about that. Most of the time I was just enjoying the hell out of myself. They had these kind of weird wee scooters, like a moped. No, literally, it's electric scooters, right? Motorised, like battery powered scooters. You could hire out. And they had different little stations, so you didn't have to. You could park up in certain spots. So it was like we're going like next to the beach, scootering along, just to like check out local sites, whatever. It was weird though, because I've never been like a motorised scooter before. I'm like 6'4", so my big fat tall ass on this wee scooter. I felt so awkward riding the damn thing, but it was fun. You voted for this. Voted. Empty Moon, I am going to add voted. Not the exact phrase you said, but I think voted could be a good shout. So I am going to add it. There we go. Good suggestion. You know what? I am going to just throw this on the board now. By the way, no, the very last time I done bingo, I left out the free space. And I'm going to do the same again this time. there is going to be no snort free space. I think it's sometimes too easy if we've got the snort free space, because it means you only need 4 instead of 5 for some lines. Sometimes the bingo has been crazy with how easy it's been for people. It shouldn't be so easy to get bingo sometimes, you know what I mean? It's like sometimes we're getting like fucking 5 times, 6 times bingo wins. It's crazy stuff. So, no free space. Excuse me. So, let's get the website shown. There we go, guys. So, no free space. And obviously we've got the Bill's fucking pre-stream, which is due to start in 3 minutes time. No sign of him being online, I think, yet. Well, he's not on here. So, here's the deal, chat. Here's the deal. I need somebody to pick either a DSP word or a DSP action to pick our bingo card. So the first suggestion I see, I will use that suggestion. So from the massive list we've got here, from all the fucking stuff he's got, like the YT pose. Good shout. Okay. So we'll search pose. Oh, fucking
Money,
oh shit.
yeah. Money. Oh, money, yeah. Money.
Thank you, D-Dog 1968-64 nerd. That's a hell of a big long name, but thank you very much for the subscription. May I recommend a show? Go for it, yeah. Recommend away. Right, I'm going to generate 1,000 bingo cards. Okay. And we're searching for pose. We have 209 Kamen Rider Ryuki. I've heard of that actually. I've never watched it, but I've heard of that. I'll check into it for sure. But for now, bingo. First things first. Right, guys. Actually, Ricky, do us a favour, Ricky. Pick a number between 1 and 291, please, Ricky. You were the first one to attend bingo tonight, so you should pick the card that we use. I think it's only fair. Ricky can get to pick the card. Oh yeah, guys, I made a wee post earlier on my community page just to explain to people that I'm not going to do members. 151, that's a big number. Let me hit enter until we get down to the 151st card. Just sorry for the fucking scrolling shit. The 151st bingo card, which is technically the 152nd result, but the very first result was on the list at top. So this right here is the bingo card that we're using. Thanks for the stream, East Coast in attendance. A nice one. I assume East Coast America and not East Coast Scotland. Deadhead Comics, are you from Edinburgh or are you from like New York? I don't know. It's hard to tell. East Coast, what kind of East Coast is that? But yeah, this is a bingo card we're going to be looking at today. Twitch being in the centre square could be a good or bad thing. Hard to tell. We've got Chair Creek, goal, hands through hair, the YT pose. Hate to say, Embra Yabama is actually East Coast Scotland, nation. So I hate to say, that's the first line. Chair Creek, goal, hands through hair, YT pose, hate to say. Then you got you guys, Lean and Ban, nobody, no one, YouTube legacy story, and YouTuber jealousy. And him just standing up randomly, although that doesn't count for him going to the fucking toilet after the pre-stream. Doesn't count. He sometimes stands up randomly to fucking scratch his ass or fucking close a window or put on the aircon or some shit. And everyone is saying Twitch, Twitter, rally. Face jiggle, likes, crowdfunded, drinks, an idiot. And voice crack, touch his face, support, food talk, and shot. Wonder what happened to food talk here, where it looks like this. Kinda strange. I think we'll get a bingo. Let me look at food talk. Oh, okay. Well, it's going to look like that, unfortunately. No, there's no two ways about it. It's going to look like that, so. It doesn't matter. It's food talks. Okay, I fixed it on my notes, but I actually had a couple of dashes in there. But that's a bingo card, so thank you very much, guys. So Empty Moon suggested the word or the phrase, and Ricky was the one that picked the number to pick the card. So with that, we have a bingo card ready. And Phil is there. He is awake. Good morning. Oh, he can't spell morning. Drunk ass bastard. So let's very quickly save this card. You guys probably won't see what I'm doing right now, but I'm just using the wee clipping tool just to easily save this bingo card. Okay. And there we go. Should be good to go. Oh, fuck off. None of that shit in here. God damn. Garbage. Oh, Phil's stream is live at least, although I probably won't start talking for a while. But yeah, I think we're done with that, so let's just close that and we'll transition over to a little... Doesn't look much right now, but if you give me a second. There we go, I've got that little window there. And let me just fire up Microsoft Paint. Nothing but the most up-to-date quality technology for doing the bingo. DSP Bingo, July, whoever got it saved. There we go. So, good stuff. So that should be us good to go. There we go. Good luck with the bingo, sir. Thank you very much. DDog196864 and there. You got a long ass name. But it somehow fits in the wee bit at the bottom, which is good. So thank you very much for your subscription. And of course we got to enjoy the money, yeah music, which that is, I don't know why, but it's such a good wee tune. It's a simple wee tune, simple wee beat, but it just bangs. It just bangs a belter. So anytime someone subs or fucking tips or even super chats or whatever, I just love that wee beat going off every time. Everyone loves it. You can just call me D-Dog or D. No worries, D. With a name like D-Dog, is that another Scottishy kind of name? Think you got any soap over there yet? Oh, because I'm a dirty Ouija. Is that it? Deadhead Comics, you call me a dirty Ouija. You know, it's funny. You know, I arrived in Glasgow Airport last night, alright? And they have this wee thing to try and help kids understand like how to show your passport, and the little like mascot for it was a guy called Wee G, as in a small person called G. Obviously, Ouija is a term that is used by people from the rest of Scotland to describe Glaswegians, essentially. Well, it's not just Glaswegians, isn't it? It's everybody west at a certain point from... I think everybody left of Edinburgh is essentially a Ouija to most people. I think, I don't know, it's weird. I don't understand like the whole definition of what a Ouija is, but all I know is I'm technically a Ouija. And of course, obviously, all these Scottish references are going to be flying over most people's heads. But yes, it's Scottish people make fun of each other all the time. It's just what we do. We just summon Ouija. Not a Ouija board. Not a Ouija board. D-Dog 1968 was from my boy band days, but my father is Scottish and my mother Jamaican. 64 nerds from the hacking days. But good guess in the Scots background, sir. Well, D-Dog, D, it makes me think Dundee. That's just kind of what I felt. Not that I'm trying to fucking dox you or anything, but when I heard D, I just think of like the River D. You know, so that was just my head. So that's funny, stop it, I've got a wee bother. Aye, fucking good one, pal, good one. I'm solo, you're more. Alright. Fucking hell, all the Scots are coming out. Alright. We've got bingo coming up, guys, but for now, I'm going to play some Meerkat music. Now, this is Meerkat's music. I am going to link you. Actually, let me just get his playlist for you, right? So I can share it in the chat. It's the music, we could enjoy Phil's pre-stream podcast music, but instead we're going to enjoy Meerkat's music, because it's a lot better. You call us spoon burners. I'm not calling you fucking... When have I ever talked down about my fellow Scots? Apart from one, Invisible Crane. That guy's a shame to Scotland. If you know who Invisible Crane is, then you know. But that guy's Scotland's shame. And with that, I'll share Meerkat's music with you, the playlist. And we will have his music playing while we wait for Phil to go live. So, enjoy.
For now. That is business related, and I do still have it.
WWE champion time.
Go, 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 go. Thanks for the money, stupid fuck.
I love it.
Go, 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 go. By eBay. Hell! It's been tough. I always think that it's my fault. Drinking gin. Yep, I'm toxic. I love Hulk Hogan's dick. My ass is so fucking stretched. Oh, no, you didn't, you motherfucking piece of shit cocksucker. Mark my fucking words. I'm coming for you.
For now.
Go, 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 go. Thanks for the money, stupid fuck.
I love it.
Go, 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 go. By eBay. Hell! Hateful slurs. Lame brain pieces of dumb fucking hateful slurs.
Why am I toxic? I love it. Hey, Mr. Burnell, you there? I am present.
Right, I understand. He's claiming that he's got $5,000 a month in expenses and only $5,000 a month in income, and net's about $35.
It's Kevin's fault.
The topic I want to discuss is depression. Depression is not a joke. It's not something to be joked about with. You are not alone. You are not a horrible person because you have this. It's not your fault. There's still this back here. And it's still in the back of my neck, the back of my head, the back of my mind, and it's always telling me. It's WWE Champions time.
It's been tough. Over the last decade. It has. It's been tough. It's been tough. Over the last decade. It has. It's been tough. It's been tough. Phil's a beggar. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. It's been tough. Phil's a faggot. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a beggar. It's been tough. Phil's a beggar. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. It's been tough. Phil's a faggot. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a beggar.
Super Meat Boy is in the stream chat, whining and complaining, saying that I never talk to anyone unless they tip me or they send me money, which is completely false. All he's been doing is sitting there all night complaining that he's depressed and no one cares. And everyone's basically ignoring him because you're like, dude, we just don't care. You know, you come in, the first thing you say is you're depressed. And what are we supposed to say to that? Now he expects that I'm going to derail the whole stream to talk to him live. So let's do it. Super Meat Boy, how you doing? You're really depressed tonight, huh? You're really depressed.
My stream is my place of business.
The company's name is Burnell Productions. It is internet content creation of on-demand and also live video streaming services.
Big up to your dad. I'm the one who operated a successful YouTube channel. Please tip me. I'm the one who operated a successful YouTube channel. Because I have bills coming up. Please pay my bills. I'm nervous. Strapped for cash.
You better take a sip.
Please pay my bills. I'm nervous. Strapped for cash.
Get a real fucking job.
I'm the one who operated a successful YouTube channel. Please tip me. I'm the one who operated a successful YouTube channel. Because I have bills coming up. They fucked me again, left and right, and my ass is so fucking stretched out at this point. It's time to push back. It's time to push back. I'm the one who operated a successful YouTube channel.
Please tip me.
I'm the one who operated a successful YouTube channel.
Because I have bills coming up.
I've never ever used a hateful slur. Ever. And that pisses me off.
I want to watch some faggot. Some homo.
Fiddle's a nigger.
You better take a sip.
I'm a mature adult with a business degree.
Big. All I see you do is big. Little picky, why you? Big. All I see you do is big. Little picky, why you?
Now it is time. It's a segment that everyone looks forward to. One of the highest rated segments of all time that I've ever done. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Phil's day off.
What's up, Piggy? Let's get it started.
Big up Smearcat.
It's my day off. Might leave the camera on and jerk off. It's my day off. Spend money on posing damn shit. It's my day off. Might go out with my bitch wife. Can't give me money today. Give me money today.
This is where my fucking money goes to every month. Garbage dump, grocery shopping, pay my taxes, pet store, pay my bills. Blowing his money on mobile games, blowing his money on this and that. I'm spending all this money buying DoorDash for my business. I need to put disgusting food in the mouths of my family members. Obviously, I need tips. Yes, I spend money on mobile games. Okay? These are my life priorities. Pay my taxes.
It's my day off. Might leave the camera on and jerk off. It's my day off. Spend money on posing damn shit. It's my day off. Might go out with my bitch wife. Can't give me money today.
Obviously, I need tips.
Give me money today.
This is where my fucking money goes to every month.
Shout out to the trolls.
For those who contributed, thank you. It would be great if we get a few more tips. To make up earlier today, we did not hit the hat goal either. It's been a very slow day. It would be great if we could pick it up a little bit with maybe some contributions tonight with tips. If you can, just saying. You know, I know some people are super chatting or whatever. That helps long term, but right now I really can help. Tomorrow's my day off. The tips I'll have for my day off, you see?
Give me money today.
I actually admitted this last year. I'll say it again. I actually do play some mobile games. I do. All right? The ones that I play are free to play or incredibly inexpensive, like you spend $1 here or there to make progress.
This one's for all my baby girls.
Got me that gotcha. I love it. Got me that gotcha. Gotcha. Begging for fucking tips and shit on Street. It's WWE Champions time. I'm stupid. WWE game plays like Candy Crush. Moving gems around, breaking colored gems. I love it. Again, it's pay to win. The more money you sink into it, the more characters you can summon, the higher chance you'll get the better characters, etc., etc. All right? Got me that gotcha. I love it. Got me that gotcha. Begging for fucking tips and shit on Street. Gotcha. Got me that gotcha. Thanks for the money, dummies. Supercar. That was a mobile game I played like 5-6 years ago. A lot. For about a year, I played it pretty hardcore. All right, even at that point, that was before everything kind of fell apart with YouTube and everything. I was putting a little bit of money into it. I was playing for the top cards. I was playing the shit out of that game, okay? After about a year, they launched what they called Season 2, which reset all the cards in the game and made all your progress essentially worthless. And I said, this game fucking sucks. What a complete waste of time that this was, all right? I understand that people right now are so hyped for the gifted memberships, and I'm very grateful for that. I mean, thank you. But I hope that that doesn't mean that people are going to forego tipping, because that would put me in a bad situation. And in particular, I don't know why you guys, okay, why are you laughing?
Guys, I had to interrupt there just a wee bit to show you Phil's dumbass chat right now. I just got completely soaked. I opened my seltzer to get a sip, and it exploded everywhere. I have a towel here trying to clean up. This dumbass can't even function a bottle of water properly without it exploding all over himself like some sort of dumbass. His closet cleaning is his members go for. Jesus Christ, are you serious? Are you serious? He's actually going to clean his goddamn closet as a... Jesus fucking Christ, what's... No. I can't believe that. Right, we're going back to the music. I'm actually trying to finish a wee cough sweetie from my throat. Still, I'm just a bit over COVID, but still a bit of a strange throat. But I just thought I'd show you Phil being a dumbass. That pre-stream was unhinged. I'll need to try and check it out one time. I've not really had the time. The gin bottle exploded. Right.
Grocery shopping, tips. Meal with my wife, tips. Coming up, my day off on Tuesday, tips. Nintendo Online, tips. Bills and stuff, tips. Tips are the liquidity of my business. Why are you laughing? Oh, so hilarious that this guy has stuff financially tight. I literally can't afford stuff on Tuesday on my day off, and you're gonna laugh? Oh, it's funny. When you can't go and do something with your family on your day off, your one day off for the week when you're working full-time 6 days a week. That's funny, right? No, it's not fucking funny. Now shut up. Grocery shopping, tips. Meal with my wife, tips. Coming up, my day off on Tuesday, tips. Nintendo Online, tips. Bills and stuff, tips. Tips are the liquidity of my business. Grocery shopping, tips. Meal with my wife, tips. Coming up, my day off on Tuesday, tips. Nintendo Online, tips. Bills and...
The fuck's going on? Hang on. Wait a second, guys. Wait a second.
July...
There was no intro.
Alrighty. Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. How is everyone this lovely...
Whoa. Does he not just do the intro anymore? The level 1 podcast, he's sticking to level 1 podcast. Keem really got us. He doesn't do intros anymore. What the fuck? There's me for fuck's sake. I guess we're starting then. We're already behind. Okay, well, 2 seconds.
Alrighty. Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello.
Arsehole.
How is everyone this lovely morning? It's a lovely Sunday morning. Today is July 3rd, 2022. I am Darkside Phil, and I welcome you here to the Level 1 podcast. How are you?
Nah, I'm not buying this. He's actually seriously sticking to this shit. Does anyone else notice that the dumbass put like an extra space in between 1 and podcast? Like, I'll go full screen again, right, just to show you. But look at the space in here, okay? In between, you can't see the fucking mouse. Why is my mouse invisible? Look, in between the words the and level, look at the spacing. In between level and 1, look at the spacing. Then look at the spacing in between 1 and podcast. It's got an extra space. This dumbass can't even do that, right? What the fuck, man? Yeah, team gets in his head so goddamn much. Okay, I don't care if we're going to be fucking behind with time. I've got a lot to unpack. I've got a lot to go off on this fool. Right, we'll go back to the bingo. We're fucking playing bingo after all. So,
welcome you here to the Level 1 podcast. How are you? Hope you're doing well. I hope you are ready for the second half of my streaming week because, yes, that's right, today is day 4 of 6. And today's going to be a great day. We've got not 1, but 2 new game playthroughs beginning today, one of which I picked and one of which you're picking. So I'm definitely excited here. I know that you guys are as well. First of all, I am...
Oh, there we go. You guys straight away. I don't care. I'm taking my sweet time. I'm a bit rusty with this. I actually need to, I know I just said you guys here, but I need to change the green because the default green's too bright. So I need to, this is what I forgot to do. You guys. He said you guys. There we go. How's that for everyone? There's like a minty green. So there we go. We're on the board.
Completely soaked. My crotch. Saturated. Completely dripping. Sopping wet. Why? Because I opened my seltzer this morning. For some odd reason, it was really strongly carbonated. I didn't shake it or anything. And as I twist the cap, it literally erupts up into the cap and squirts down like a jet of water. And it completely doused my crotch, the chair, the arm of the chair, and everything in front of me. So I had to run and grab a towel and dry off everything around me because it was very, very wet. My poor phone got soaked. Luckily, I have a good case for the phone that encases it so, you know, it doesn't get wet. But that's never happened that strongly before. It's happened before. I think what it is they over carbonate.
Dashy, I'm not I mean, but what did everyone else think? Does this count as food talk? Does it count as food talk, him talking about him exploding his dumbass seltzer water over his damn face? And his damn stupid meaningless crotch? Not really. Let's see what everyone says. Taxi Spam says no, Emptyman says not really. Flying Goes Fly says nah. See, this is why I wasn't ticking it, because it's not really food talk. It's a good try, Dashi, it's a good try. We probably will get there, depends, but in this context, more like a sex talk or accident. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't say idiot, like, you know, talking about how he's done that like an idiot, but who knows, we'll keep playing.
They put too much carbonation in it. Anyway, thank God it's just seltzer water.
Oh, do we have leg slap? Oh, we don't even have leg slap on the board. God damn it. But that's touching his face. We've actually got him mid-touching his face there.
I imagine it was soda.
Yep, so, touching his face. We have another one. I'm taking my goddamn time on this today, I really don't care. Touch his face. There we go. This is, I feel rusty as hell. His hair looks sprayed on. It really does. I also lost one IQ point listening to that. Oh, prepare
that's
a lot more.
disgusting. Sticky, sugary shit. That's why I drink seltzer water. Anyway, welcome to the Level 1 podcast, everyone. How are you doing? I hope, first of all, if you live in the United States, I hope you're having a good weekend. This is the July 4th Independence Day weekend. Many people have a 3-day weekend because tomorrow is indeed Independence Day, which a lot of people have off from school or work. And so, I hope you're having a good one. I don't know what you guys are up to. Here in Washington State, it's actually cloudy and cool today, which is good. We've had a lot of warm days over the last couple of weeks. It's good to have a nice cool day here. So currently I have my fan on blast, but I haven't turned on the actual air conditioner yet, although likely that'll change over the course of today's stream. So, what are we doing? Let's talk about today. Let's talk about a few different things, actually. Some interesting things to discuss today as we prepare for a full day of new game playthroughs, as well as upcoming events this coming week that are kind of out of the ordinary.
Shut the fuck up, Phil. Fly Eagles Fly, how's your health coming along? It's better. I just about fully recovered before going on holiday, so the COVID thing wasn't an issue at all. So yeah, health-wise, I'm doing okay. Does DSP just get out of bed and start streaming? Taxi Spam, essentially. From what I can gather, he wakes up around 10:30, kinda his time. 10:20, 10:30 his time. He'll go downstairs to his kitchen. He says like he makes a coffee or something, you know. He'll probably have a wee bit of, he'll have like a breakfast burrito or something, and he makes a coffee. And then he starts streaming. He's still wearing pyjama bottoms usually. He genuinely doesn't change properly. Like, he might put in a fresh t-shirt and that's it, but he'll still have on like Zelda pyjama bottoms or some pish. It's unbelievable, man. He does not present himself very professionally at all. And this is his job, this is his career. and he doesn't present himself at all. It's not an ounce really of professionalism goes into it, it seems. Only recently, obviously, he done the stupid fucking console boxes behind him because Keem made the Mission 1 comment to him a few months ago. That's what triggered all these dumbass boxes behind him in the first place, so Phil could feel like he'd try and flex on them. So he said, I'm not Mission 1, I'm not Level 1. Look at me, I've got console boxes that fans gave to me. Then obviously the whole 50k shit happened later on. Now Phil's renamed a pre-stream. I'm away for one fucking week and Phil renames his goddamn shit completely differently just because I'm away for one. Fuck off, Phil. DSP pre-stream podcast bingo doesn't make sense anymore because he calls it a level 1 podcast. What a piece of shit. Am I going to? Do I really need to rename this to the level 1 podcast bingo or something? What the fuck? I'm not fucking doing that. I'm too used to calling it a DSP pre-stream podcast bingo. Even though it's not a goddamn podcast still. At least he's no fucking calling it pre-stream podcast. Do you guys see the hand? King, do you see the hand? Did I see the hand? Did I see the hand? Did I see the hand? Guys, did I see a hand? What hand? In his pause frame, you mean? You mean his t-shirt, wee guy? It's on the left-sided PS5 box. I don't think I see it. I'm looking at the left side of the PS5 box. I don't think I see a hand, personally. I'm just going to keep playing. I think it's a flag. I mean, this here is an American flag. This fucking, well, not, it's like an old-fashioned American flag, you know? It looks like that's kind of older one with a circle of stars around it. Yes, it's definitely a flag. That's not a hand. Anyway, we're going to keep playing. I just paused. How you doing, Barry Sadie? How you doing? Phil does not wake up at 10 a.m, by the way, D. He wakes up later than that, I'm pretty sure. Fucking freaking out. He's like, is there a ghost hand in this fucking pre-stream? Phil has been haunted by a desperate ghost begging for tips.
Ordinary, just my standard gameplay stuff, okay? So, let's talk. Let's talk about the schedule first. Let's get this out of the way. And then we'll get into the other topics I'd like to talk about on today's podcast. So, today's gameplay streams, very exciting. Whenever there's a day with a new game playthrough premiering, it's exciting. But today's a double new playthrough. 2 new games I'll be playing. And what are they? Well, let's talk about the one I know about. This is a game that even since my early days as a YouTuber, way back when, I always just kind of assumed that this would end up being an epic playthrough if I were to ever play it. Because this is a game that I have history with. This is a game that, quite frankly, I to this day still feel that in the 1990s was one of the most overhyped video games I ever saw in my life. Not to say the game is bad, because I actually don't think the game is bad. But man, the way that this game, at that point in time, was so heavily hyped everywhere, and then after it came out, people kissing its butt, saying it's like the best game ever in this genre, and just non-stop kind of going crazy for it over the years. For me...
Shut the fuck up, Phil. Let people like what they want to fucking like. I knew a guy in school that fucking absolutely loved the shit out of Final Fantasy. Right? You know, it's just unbelievable. But I was not into Final Fantasy myself. It wasn't my kind of game. I liked playing games. Final Fantasy was not my kind of game. I was into like FIFA and all that shit, and you know, maybe Crash Bandicoot or whatever, you know, kind of shit like that, you know, but I wasn't into the kind of RPG kind of games. But I still respected how people liked other games. And I had this guy in school that he fucking loved the shit out of Final Fantasy VII. And I was like, I mean, he would talk to me all the time about it, you know, because like we both like games, and I would just kind of let him talk because I don't want to just fucking derail his passion for talking about his game, so I just kind of let him say, alright, okay, that's interesting, yeah, that's cool. I wasn't really into it myself personally, but he really loved this game, and I could kind of appreciate that. I can appreciate someone getting genuine enjoyment and fulfillment from a game, and like, just, they really loved the series, they really loved the game, you know? So it's like, I can dig that, you know, I like it when people really get a connection with a game sometimes, you know? They can really put their heart and soul into it. And it just really resonates on him. And Phil's shitting all over that because it wasn't his kind of game, which I don't agree with. I think each to their own. I mean, this is such a this is part of his toxic fucking personality, of course, but he's not got an each to their own kind of mentality. He's like, oh, I don't like this, so nobody else should fucking like it either. Idiots are liking this shit, but I don't like it, so they're all idiots because I don't like it. This is such a dumbass mentality, I feel. Sadie says your childhood game was Halo CE. As well, some people have these games. For me, I grew up in fucking, I'll say, growing up, my history of games is like, as a younger kid, Sonic, and then like playing FIFA and all that, and I played a whole bunch of different FIFAs and all that shit. Crash Bandicoot, Spider, Dragon, Grand Theft Auto as well. I grew up in Grand Theft Auto, including the very first one, the original GTA top-down view and everything else. That's what I'm saying. Like, we all have these games. I think a lot of us can resonate. All of having these games that we grew up with and really having a connection with. And Phil just shits on it because it's not his kind of game. You know, it's like, what the fuck are you to like shit on a game because just because you don't like the fucking game doesn't mean it's a bad fucking game. It's not your kind of game. This is what I'm saying. Why is he playing it if it's not his kind of game? Does he feel like he has to play it because he's a variety content guy and he's desperate to try and get some attention and views? It's weird to me. I really don't understand it. Anyway, we're going to start son of a bitch all goddamn day. I don't care. I'm going to make sure we don't miss anything on this fucking bingo. Hey, you can see the mouse now. I hate it you can see the mouse sometimes, but not all the time. I really don't understand it. It must be an OBS thing.
Me, and just non-stop kind of going crazy for it over the years. For me, I always tried to judge things fairly without the hype clouding my judgment. And so when I played it, I liked it, but I wasn't monstrously in love with this game like a lot of people were. I think what it really was, and we're going to talk about that, because that's one of the sub-segments of the podcast today, is I'm going to talk about my history with this game. But I feel like when it came out, because this was the first game in this franchise to ever be 3D. Previously, the franchise had always been 2D pixelated art. I feel like that's why it got the hype that it did. It was in the formative years of games moving over to polygons and everything. And because of that, it just exploded in popularity. So the game we're going to be starting up today, a playthrough. No exaggeration, if you look back at my history, about 13 years in the making. Because it was actually about 13 years ago when I started up a little series that was really just meant to be kind of a joke series and then eventually blossomed into something completely different that I like to call Project 7, all right? Way back, I believe it was 2009, all right? On a whim, when I was experimenting with things on YouTube, and I was messing around with my content and trying to do some different things rather than just, gameplay with commentary over it, I did an edited video series, that was meant to be both suspenseful as well as just silly and stupid. In this video series, the proposal was that I was kidnapped by someone or something. I was locked inside of my condo where I lived in Connecticut at the time, and I was not allowed to leave. Instead, I was forced to play a game that I did not like, and I basically had to play it to fruition. It was like a way to kind of torture me, okay? Now, the idea for this series originally was that, yes, I was going to play the game and do a playthrough, but it was not going to be a full-fledged playthrough like the stuff that I was doing up to that point. Instead, it was going to be highlights of the game, parts of the game where I maybe felt were worth mentioning for either really good reasons or really bad reasons. A lot of people who played this game over the years tend to gloss over some of the really weird parts of it and pretend like they don't exist, but only emphasize the parts that are admittedly really good. I wanted to emphasize everything about this game. I basically had been inspired by many different kind of content creators. I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this. One of the people who actually inspired me on the internet was Spoonie. I know, a lot of people say, Spoonie? Oh God, that guy who fell off the planet and basically got canceled. Well, way back when, before he was canceled and when he was still a content creator that was prolific and popular for being with guys over at thatguywiththeglasses.com, he had done a series of highlighted gameplay where what he would do is do an edited series making fun of a game, poking at it for its flaws. I believe he had done one. I can't remember what his first one was, but I think I had seen him do this with Final Fantasy VIII before. But I wanted to do it with Final Fantasy VII because this was one that everyone kissed its butt, and I didn't agree with that. Okay? So that was kind of my idea. And this was a series of videos I put out in, like, I think it was 2009. I did 3 or 4 of them, and they were very silly and stupid. They were not meant to be anything serious. This was before I ever monetized any of my content. It was just me dicking around doing something ridiculous, okay? So, I did this video series with 0 gameplay, never even revealing the game that was involved in it. And then, basically, I just dropped it, never really went back to it. Years later, the whole thing was rebooted as something completely and utterly different, and it has nothing to do with the original project, okay? So, this is basically where things have been left, you know, for many years. Over the years, I always dabbled with, hey, maybe one day I'll play this game. Hey, maybe one day we'll do it. And then it never happened. In fact, there was a really strong chance and opportunity for me to play this game a few years ago when I was preparing for its remake release. Yes, that's right. This game has been remade for modern audiences, only now it's a completely different game. And when that was happening, I announced to everyone, hey, maybe we should do this as a downtime playthrough. Maybe we should play this over the course of the summer to prepare for the impending remake release, you know, coming out next year. And it was a big poll to determine, you know, what I would play. And incidentally, a later game in this franchise won the poll rather than this one. So I ended up playing a later game that I had never played before, and I liked it, by the way. It was a good playthrough, but it was just kind of weird and unfortunate that I just never got around to playing this game after, you know, 13 years of me kind of intending this is a no-brainer. This is one that I absolutely should be doing for my YouTube channel. Now, here's the good news. Today, I'm much different than I was back in the day as a content creator. I don't just put out gameplay videos with raw commentary over them as an isolated thing anymore. Now, I'm an interactive live streamer, right? We have fun conversation. We talk about the games that I'm playing. People contribute and then add their own takes. Sometimes they'll help me out with a part that I'm stuck on. So in this case, okay, this was actually a situation.
What the fuck is he talking about now? Sometimes chat will help me out. All times chat will help you out. Your content's gotten worse over the goddamn years because chat has to bail your ass out because you don't want to put one fucking single cell of brain power into figuring something out in a game. Anytime a game gets too hard for you, you turn to chat, you wait for the answer to come up because you can't put in the goddamn effort to come up with a solution yourself because you become a lazy piece of shit. At least back in the day before you had stream chat holding your goddamn hand, we could actually see an attempt to try and figure something out. And obviously sometimes you give up in and just try and look at a guide online or some pish. These days you're fucking not even as blatant as that. You'll pretend that you figured out yourself when you're looking at chat, waiting for a solution to come from chat. You won't even thank the person in chat that gave you the goddamn solution, and you pretend that you're a smart little boy who figured it out all by himself, even though you can't do a goddamn thing by yourself anymore. You can't even drink a goddamn bottle of water by yourself anymore without soaking your stupid ass in fucking water. It's unbelievable. I cannot believe how he spins this around to think, yeah, I'm so different now. Back in the day, he pushed his whole narrative as, I'm the realest YouTuber, I'm the realest guy out there. I tell you guys everything, I show you guys everything, I give you everything raw and unedited, not shit. He really pushed this shit, you know, back in the day as being a massive positive, and now he's trying to pretend like that was a bad thing, and he's changed since then, and he incorporates his audience into things and how he's... And I just, Bill fucking shouted. Damn it, he don't touch his hair since I cut too embarrassed. I'm extra salt. I've got a week's worth of salt to get me. I'm pissed off. I missed so much shit, man. I was away 1 week. He named the goddamn podcast a Level 1 podcast. You know, we have no intros anymore, which is strange. He has some mental drama with Keemstar. I tried to retcon, which I'm still trying to catch up on everything. I'm still trying to understand everything. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed today. You know what would make me happy today? Getting every single thing in this goddamn bingo card ticked off. Just to show Phil how predictable he is. What does the drink square mean? Didn't he spell it? He has to drink. He has to literally take a drink. Everything with the asterisks. So, food talk is him just talking about food in general. So, drinks with the asterisk there, he has to actually literally take a drink. Hands through the hair, it's him literally putting his hands through the hair. The YT pose is him holding out his arms, either in a T shape or sometimes in a Y shape, and just doing a pose like that as he talks. So these are all action things. Him shaking his face to the side for a face jiggle. when his voice cracks. These are all action kind of things when you get the wee asterisks. Everything else, it says that everyone is saying, he has to say everyone is saying. He has to say goal. He has to say hate to say. He has to say rally. He has to say Twitch. He has to say Twitter. These are things he has to literally say. So yeah, that's what it is. I'm just going to keep playing.
Where I was nervous and worried that if I were ever to do a playthrough of this game, that it wouldn't be entertaining, and here's why. Because in this situation, this game has parts in it that are roughly pretty challenging, okay? Very confusing in a lot of cases, all right?
So there you go. Drinks is now on the board because he just took a sip. You sleazy motherfucker. Drinks. There we go.
But now, knowing that I am an interactive content creator and I'm going to have a live audience along for the ride, I feel like this is going to be a lot more entertaining and fun. In addition to that, I really feel like having that interactive audience will add to an open world RPG experience. Meaning, if I was just playing this for myself and there's grinding parts, constant combat and things, it could be boring. But when I have a live audience to talk with while I play, it makes it a much better experience. I think of recent playthroughs, for example, Dragon Quest XI, Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon, where there's this kind of gameplay, and having the interactive live audience made those playthroughs so much better, because when I had to do that repetitive style turn-based gameplay, it didn't become boring and grindy because we kept it alive. We kept going with conversation and fun, you see? So I'm very excited, for sure, to be playing this game. What game am I talking about? I haven't even said the name of the game yet. You realize that? Ladies and gentlemen, the game that we are talking about is Wild Arms on the PlayStation 1. Finally, because of PlayStation Plus Premium, I get to share this game with you today. Okay, no, that's not the game I'm talking about. The game I'm talking about, of course, is the original. It's not original, though. That's the thing. It's Final Fantasy VII. It's not the original. For a lot of people, they're like, oh, Final Fantasy VII, that's the one that started it all. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's Part 7. There were 6 other games before it and spin-offs. Like, I remember Final Fantasy Tactics, Final Fantasy, oh god, now I'm having a brain fart. There was other spin-off Final Fantasy games as well on the SNES that I had played. Not Tactics. There's one, that was like a light mode Final Fantasy. Now I can't remember the name of it. Shit, I've completely have a brain fart about it. But anyway, yeah, I haven't played this ever, for you guys. The last time, Mystic Quest, that's what it was, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Thank you, Ethan Jory. I actually really like Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. It's a game that I owned and played a lot back in the day. But anyway, yeah, this is a game that I've always intended on playing over the years and never got around to it. Now, I played it when it was new, and then I played it again in the early 2000s. It had a PC port, and I played the PC port. Incidentally, I think the version we're playing is the PC port now ported to the PlayStation 4, because the version of the game we're about to play is from 2015, when they had first announced the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and then they re-released the original Final Fantasy VII for PS4 to kind of bank on that announcement, hoping that a lot of people would want to play the original game. So that's the version we're playing today. It's available on PlayStation Plus, and being that I just became a PlayStation Plus Premium member, it's a no-brainer that we use this version, okay? Now, I am excited. I hope you guys are too. We're going to talk about my history with Final Fantasy VII in just a moment. That's going to be a segment here on the pre-stream today on the Level 1 podcast. But let's not jump the gun. Let's talk about the schedule for the rest of the week, okay? So, premiere Final Fantasy VII right now here on the stream. Very exciting. Later tonight, on the late stream, 6:45 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, it is the premiere of the Viewer's Choice game. And what is the Viewer's Choice game? I don't know yet, because the poll is still running, and we currently have a tie at 28% of the vote between Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link, which I would be playing on the Nintendo Switch Online service, or Fable Anniversary Edition, which I would be playing on Xbox Series X under Game Pass. It's a tie at 28%. So I don't know what's going to win, because right now it's neck and neck, and overnight there's been a lot of voting. Now, here's the thing. If you haven't voted yet, you still can. And if you have voted, but you voted for a game that's not one of those two, I'm going to urge you to change your vote. What do I mean by that? When you vote on a poll on YouTube, you could change your vote after the fact. So if you've already voted, if you're one of the 2,000 or more people who've already voted on this poll, you can go change the vote to one of those two so we can have a definitive winner as of tonight. Okay? So, please vote. Where do you vote? What am I talking about? Right here on the main channel page of DSP Gaming. Go to the community tab. Scroll down about 6 days. The poll's been running for almost a week. There's a poll down there, and you can vote in that poll. All right? Please do. Again, if you have not, or I urge you to change your vote if you had voted for a game that has no chance of making it. We need a definitive answer for tonight. Okay? Now, also, another thing I want to say. Don't be discouraged if you vote for a game and it doesn't win the poll tonight, and that's not what we play on the late stream. Why? If you look at the game schedule for July and August, it is pretty empty. In the entire month of July, there's only 2 major releases I'm interested in. Stray and As Dusk Falls. Outside of those 2 games, there is nothing going on. In August, pretty dead month. Are there a few releases? Yes, but most of them are actually towards the end of the month. In fact, I'll take a quick look here. Yeah, in August, there's 1 game early on, and outside of that, nothing till the 23rd. So, when you're looking at the next 2 months, it's so dead that there's high potential for these kind of downtime chill playthroughs. And even if the game you're voting for ends up getting second place, there's an incredibly strong chance I'm going to be playing it anyway. Okay? So there you go. But we need a definitive winner for tonight.
Wait, what the fuck was that? Hold on. When I finish that sentence, what the fuck was that?
In place, there's an incredibly strong chance I'm going to be playing it anyway. Okay? So there you go.
So it'll snort into the mic, but it'll try and clear his throat away from it. That was kind of weird. It's just a weird little tick where it's like, I'm going to clear my throat away from the mic barely. But you'll still hear it, of course. The fuck?
But we need a definitive winner for tonight. Please continue to vote. Whatever wins by tonight, that's what I'm playing on the late stream, and I will announce it between the streams, I guess. I'll have to check and see what ends up winning by tonight. Either Zelda 2 or Fable Anniversary Edition. Okay? Now, tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, is Independence Day here in the United States. All right? And in honor of Independence Day, I fully realize that many people, all right, are likely not going to be around tomorrow on the live stream. I get that. Now, if you're not in the United States, it's not a national holiday for you. It's not a big deal. You may be here. But for a lot of us, Independence Day is a day when you get together with your friends or family, you cook out, you do outdoor activities, you like...
Yeah, is that what you're going to do, Phil? Are you going to get together with your friends and family and enjoy the American Independence Day? Are you going to embrace Independence Day with all your friends and family and loved ones, Phil? Or you're going to do what you always fucking do? You're going to stream to just a bunch of people. You're going to ignore your family. You can't even ignore your friends. You don't fucking have any. Oh, poor Phil. That's a hell of a little fucking freeze frame right there with his goddamn face. I just love how he's like, oh, I like how he assumes his supporters have lives as well. It's funny as hell. He's imagining these guys might care about their own families than they do about just like catching up with him on his wee streams. Bloody hell. I mean, is it like a YT pose? Hang on. Let's go back.
Fireworks, you do all this. It's not a big deal. You may be here. But for a lot of us, Independence Day is a day when you get together with your friends or family, you cook out, you do outdoor activities, you light fireworks, you do all these fun things that are off the internet.
That's not a YT pose.
So that being said, I'm well aware that a large group of my audience that normally would be here on a live stream will likely not be here tomorrow for Independence Day. Okay, I'm not stupid. So that being said, I don't want to set up anything major for tomorrow. I don't want to have it be a day that's like, oh, it's a must-view day, because if you're not here, you miss out on a critical part of a playthrough. So because of that, I decided that tomorrow I'm going to do some more casualized stuff. The main gameplay stream tomorrow, I'm going to be doing multiplayer of the Capcom Fighting Collection. I feel that some people may actually be playing this game during the course of the day because they have off from school or work, and maybe they'll have opportunity during the day to just kind of mess around with stuff, and maybe they'll play this game online. I don't know. But I feel like doing a multiplayer game on the 4th of July makes more sense than doing a narrative-based game where people can't attend and then the stream ends up having low attendance and everyone's disappointed they missed out on an important part of an ongoing playthrough. So that's what we're doing tomorrow.
Isn't that fucking what YouTube's for, though? People can fucking watch it in their own fucking time. Like, I have people that fucking watch these bingo things outside of the live times. That's what YouTube's for. You can watch it in your own goddamn time. What the hell is he trying? Why is he trying to act like he's fucking let those people watch it in their own goddamn time? That's a benefit of streaming on YouTube. You do a stream for your live audience, and after you finish, it gets made into a goddamn. Obviously, Phil makes it private and he fucking clips it individually. I don't bother with that shit. I just keep everything live, and people can enjoy that whole live stream. I don't want to watch it back afterwards, but it's unbelievable that Phil is trying to argue that people that might miss a live stream will be annoyed at missing the live stream. Just let them catch it in their own goddamn time. Hello, Cobain. I'm just fucking ranting. Don't mind me. So, this fucking miserable sack of shit face, man. This cunt has a face you just want to punch, honestly, man. Right, okay, I'm getting distracted. Remember, guys, if I miss anything in the bingo, let me know. I'm a bit rusty still, you know, so... But I'm trying to keep my ears open for anything that will come up. He's not said anything about likes or support yet, or crowdfunded. I thought I would around this time, but nope, nothing yet, so... Help me help you.
It is Capcom Fighting Collection on the main stream, and then tomorrow night on the late stream, I'm going to wrap up the very tail end, almost like the epilogue of the Sonic Origins playthrough. Currently, I'm at the very end of Sonic & Knuckles. I have about an hour left in the game to beat it. Once I beat it, since we may have a little bit of extra time, there's two different choices. Either I can just do some Q&A with my audience, or we can actually restart Sonic 3 or Sonic & Knuckles with Knuckles, and mess around and see how Knuckles plays in the game. Now, I'm not committing to playing through the entire game with Knuckles, but I figure, hey, he's in there as a playable character. He does play significantly different from Sonic, so why not give him a shot? Just mess around a little bit, okay? That's what we're doing tomorrow night, all right? And then, on Tuesday, my final consecutive streaming day of this week, it'll be more Final Fantasy VII paired with more of whatever wins the viewer's choice poll tonight. Okay, and that's my streaming week. I'm off on Wednesday. Later on this week, we got all kinds of variety. Thursday, Ask the King returns. If you're not aware, Ask the King is my Q&A show, where for a very dedicated stream and podcast, I answer your questions live with really lengthy, intelligent, thought-out answers, as opposed to me just answering things on the fly like I usually do on a stream. If you haven't yet, I strongly recommend you post up your questions on my forums on dspgaming.com. If you want the link, type in !Ask the King into the stream chat right now and the link will pop up. All right? Or just go to dspgaming.com and go to the forums in the general area. You'll find it right there. Okay? Now, please post up your questions. The more questions I get for my Q&A show, the better it is. FYI, when I do Ask the King, the stream starts later than usual by a couple hours because it gives me some opportunity to review your questions, pick the best ones, get my answers ready. There's also a special layout I have to do, and there's shout-outs and things I have to prepare for when I do Ask the King. So it'll be a...
Yeah, and further evidence that Phil is not regular at all at thinking his feet when people are asking him questions. He has to fucking rehearse his answers. He has to fucking rehearse everything. He can't do live reacts because he has to fucking rehearse his responses to how he fucking deals with things when he's reacting to it. Even Jesus Christ, man, this guy is fucking so inept at trying to actually think of a good, clever thing to say in his feet. How has this guy fucking survived this long doing live shit and YouTube not shit when he's incapable of coming up with an actual smart, independent, on-the-spot thought? I guess this is what fucking makes him a lol cow, I guess. But Jesus fucking Christ, he's fucking doing homework to prep his answers so he doesn't end up saying something stupid and moronic, or something more stupid and moronic than usual. Like, half the time anyway, I'll still we're going to say something dumb anyway just because it's Phil, and that's what Phil does. That's just, being away from this guy for a week is nice, but it also kind of, you forget how annoying it is until you come back after a week, and it just hits you all at once. and it just kind of grates you. It's that kind of thing. It's like you get used to the pain if you do it consecutively every day. If you do these things every day, you fucking endure this idiot every day. You get used to that stupidity. You get used to his idiocy just grating on your brain. It's just, but if you're away for a while, then you come back. It's like coming. The best example I can think of is like have you ever gone into a swimming pool, when you're on holiday? And it's like, when you get in at first, it's kind of cold. But then after like a wee bit, you get used to it and it's all nice, you know? Well, it's like I've been out the pool for too long, you know? And I'm dipping my toe back in again, and it's that wee shock of like, Phil is annoying me. He needs a Glasgow kiss, aye. Fucking multiple them. For those that don't know, Glasgow kiss is a headbutt. There you go.
A stream starting a little later with an abridged level 1 podcast beforehand. It'll be a very short podcast that day, okay? All right, Thursday night. It will be the conclusion, maybe, I guess it depends on how well I do, but the likely conclusion of my playthrough of the Castlevania Anniversary Collection, meaning I am going to try to finish Super Castlevania 4. We're currently in Dracula's Castle right now, but we're in a very challenging part, and I get the feeling the game's just going to get harder the further in I get. I've actually never gotten as far in the game as I am right now, so this is my first chance to really finish the game, and I'm excited to see what the game has in the end game stuff. So that's going to be Thursday night. Then on Friday, the main gameplay stream will again be Final Fantasy VII, and then Friday night, it's going to be again Capcom Fighting Collection as Friday Night Fights. All right. Now, Saturday is a very special event. Saturday is a marathon event. Here's what we're doing on Saturday. First of all, I'm going to be reacting. That's right, DSP Reacts returns. It's not going to be me doing raw gameplay. It's going to be me watching some content on the internet and reacting to it. Now, we've talked about what it should be. And what I would like to do, perhaps tomorrow morning, is reveal to you the third YouTube channel that has explicitly given permission to react to their content. This is a channel that features things such as supernatural stories, true murder mysteries and documentaries, countdowns and the like. Interesting stuff, okay? And I've watched a few videos from this channel. I liked them, and I thought this would be some pretty interesting and different content for me to react to, because I, to this point, only reacted to game stuff, like game announcement, digital, presentations, or documentaries about Wings of Redemption or about me, so this will be something different, okay? And I'm excited for this and to see, how something like this would go. So I'm going to announce this channel likely tomorrow, okay? We'll see. Either tomorrow or Tuesday's Level 1 podcast, I will announce the channel, and this will give you guys an opportunity to take a look at the channel and maybe pick out a few videos and things that you'd like to see me react to this coming Saturday. I already have an idea of one or two, but obviously I'd like to get the opinion of my viewership as well, okay? So, I'm excited for that. Now, not only will I be doing a full marathon of React-style content, but there's two other things happening that day. Number one, Feasting with the King. I'll be ordering some food for delivery. We'll be trying out some kind of a cuisine for the very first time.
There's your fucking food talk right there, Dashy. I knew you'd jump the gun trying to just fucking seltzer water food talk. Behave yourself, pal. There's your food talk right there. Right, what have we got so far? I mean, I'm surprised he's not said go yet when he's talking about marathon support or crowdfund. Did you think he'd... I mean, what's the point of a marathon again? Usually it's to try and raise extra funds because he's doing a fucking special event and all that shit. I'm surprised he's not mentioned that. But yeah, there's your fucking food talk right there, pal.
Here live on stream. Currently, the choices that I've thought of are as follows. Number one, Szechuan Chinese. Number two, American barbecue. And one that we kind of talked about yesterday, and it's not set in stone yet, but it seems like a good idea, would be gourmet burgers, meaning I find a restaurant around here, not a chain, I'm not talking about Red Robin or some freaking fast food place.
Oh, hold up. Gourmet burgers. Translation, more expensive than usual burgers. As in, please tip me more. These are very expensive gourmet burgers I ordered for you guys for the content I'm making. Please tip, because it has left me short. I needed to order these gourmet burgers for Feasting with the King, so please pay the king so I can afford to pay my bills tomorrow. That kind of thing, that kind of gourmet burger.
But a restaurant that does gourmet style burgers and order 1 or 2 gourmet burgers and sides to try.
One or two. So not just one gourmet burger. 2 gourmet burgers. He called McDonald's plebeian the other day. He said he ate, but with shame in his voice. Wouldn't that simply fall under partly at least under American barbecue? It could do, actually, yeah. Especially if the chain's American, whatever, the restaurant's American, could do. But, Jesus Christ, man. He's going to order 2 gourmet burgers from some swanky restaurant. He'll call it robust. The taste is it's got a chewy texture, and you just hear that loud chewing noise. That open mouth chewing he'll do. And sides. He's got sides as well.
I hear live on and order 1 or 2 gourmet burgers and sides to try here live on stream with you guys.
He said sides as well. For fuck's sake. This fucking greedy piece of shit. I fucking can't. Oh my god. I mean, I'm a fat bastard myself, but I wouldn't fucking order 2 gourmet burgers and sides to go with it. I mean, I say that, but today I had a Domino's pizza and 2 sides all to myself. Yeah, but to be fair, I had not ate since like lunchtime the day before. Because also it was the last day of my holiday, and then there was no time for food, so there was no dinner. I didn't do breakfast this morning. I had a big lunch and a set before the film. Jesus Christ, man. He's got to have a $15 French fries. Jesus Christ, man. I fucking can't. I just can't. But we'll keep playing. We'll rewind 5 seconds and we'll keep playing, but I need to hear that one more time.
1 or 2 gourmet burgers and sides to try here live on stream with you guys. I think that would be pretty neat, okay? So that's just an idea. If you guys have more idea of cuisine for me to try for the marathon on Saturday, please let me know. By the way, this is Saturday, July 9th. Let me clarify that for everyone. Mark your calendars, open your schedules, make yourself available this coming Saturday. You don't want to miss it. If you miss it, you're going to be very sad and upset with yourself that you didn't take the time to be here for the marathon. It's the most important thing going on July 9th, trust me. Nothing else on this planet is going to be anywhere near as important as my marathon on July 9th. I know this. Anyway.
That might count as a face jiggle. I don't know, is that a face jiggle?
It's going to be anywhere near as important as my marathon on July 9th. I know this.
So, I don't. You guys decide. Is that a face jiggle? Yay or nay? It's a very minor one, but to me it was kind of like a wee jiggle.
Anyway, and it's my marathon on July 9th. I know this.
There's a wee bit of jiggle. There is actually a wee bit of jiggle there. It's minor, but there is some jiggle there.
It's going to be anywhere near as important as my marathon on July 9th. I know this. Anyway.
I think there's a face jiggle. No sound though. Oh, you want to hear a jiggle sound? You want to hear like the flapping of his skin as he jiggles vociferously? I would say if he does not, for rest of stream, I say click at the end. It wasn't, at least not a real jiggle like he tries to do. Okay, yeah, the flapping pork sound. Okay, we'll not tick it for now. Okay, we'll see where we are at the end. Okay, we'll not tick it for now though. We'll keep going. We'll put it in the back burner.
So, in addition to that, not only are we going to be doing Feasting with the King, but in addition to that, also I'm going to be doing my very next, second ever fantasy simulation match in WWE 2K22. It's going to be just like last time, a 30-man over-the-top rope battle royale featuring 30 fantasy characters created in-game. It's going to be pop culture characters, comic book characters, cartoon characters, content creators from the internet, celebrities, anything you can think of. We'll be facing off in this fantasy battle royale, if you remember.
Cobain, you didn't actually reveal it yet. He said he's going to reveal it either tomorrow or Tuesday. He said he's going to probably reveal what channel it is either tomorrow or Tuesday, Cobain. So yeah. I know he doesn't actually necessarily need permission, but This is the thing. I don't actually mind Phil going out of his way to ask channels for their permission to review shit. I think this is a good thing to do in general. Whenever I'm like using somebody's like video or whatever for if I'm like borrowing somebody's video, I usually will ask him, like, you know, like, hey Tommy, watch. If I'm using one of his clips, I'll generally reach out to him and say, by the way, is it okay I use this or whatever. Detractors are always okay with usually anyway, but if I genuinely tend to reach out anyway and say, it's okay I use this, it's okay I use that, and I'll usually put a wee plug for him as well in my video description. You know, so it's one of those things where I think Phil asking for permission is actually a good thing. I'm not mocking him for that at all. You know, I think that's actually something that more content creators that do the react shit should do. Like, reach out to people, make sure that people want their shit reacted to. Even though I know anyone can technically do it, but I just think it is kind of lazy content people do. It's like people just sit in their arse, stuff their face with food, and barely react to a video that someone else makes. But because that person reacting to it is so much more popular, it just gets them more money, and they're barely putting in any effort, you know. There's like fucking people out there that are just lazy bastards that make a lot of money on it, profiting off other people's shit, and they're barely putting in effort themselves. So react content in general, I'm not a huge fan of him. Phil used to be he used to be so against it. And it's one of the small redeeming points that Phil used to have. He used to hate React content, and because to be fair, he had a point about it. React content in general is lazy. But now he's doing it himself, and he's become a massive hypocrite for doing it himself. And it's just, his way of trying to justify it is, I'm getting permission. You're still doing something massively hypocritical, Phil. You're doing something you said was such a horrible, lazy form of content creation. Oh, for God's sake. Yeah, fuck it. I just had to rant, but there you go.
Last time around, we had myself, Wings of Redemption, twice, LTG, and many others facing off against characters such as Sagat from Street Fighter and many other characters. So, excuse me. I'm excited for this. You guys really liked this fantasy match that I did it was a little over a month ago now, right? A little month and a half ago, maybe. You guys enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to doing another one for you, okay? Should be a good time. So that's coming up this Saturday, July 9th. Then, for the second half of my streaming week, we're back to regular gameplay. And what I'm likely going to do is alternate. What I mean by that is one day I'll probably do, like, Final Fantasy VII. And then the other day, I'll probably do the Viewer's Choice playthrough. And then at nights, I'll probably alternate, maybe do some Capcom Fighting Collection. And then likely what I will do is do something different for another kind of late night chill playthrough, because if you're not aware, we beat Skyrim, that's done. We're about to complete Sonic, and we're about to complete Castlevania. So all of these playthroughs that were meant to be like chill playthroughs are ending. So I'm going to have to find something else to do nights to balance out with my late night streams, and I have a few ideas. One of them is a game that I had already tossed out there that we kind of put on the back burner, maybe Super Mario Bros. 2, the American version, also known as Doki Doki Panic in Japan. I think that could be a neat playthrough to do for a few night streams. And then again, depending on how things are going, we could choose different games. There's a few things on PlayStation Plus Premium that I'm interested in. You guys had actually expressed your desire to see me play Toy Story 3 on Game Pass. That's a possibility. We have lots of possibilities to do, okay? And that's cool that we have these options that we can explore with all these things, not only on PlayStation Plus, but also on Game Pass, to kind of toss in as filler playthroughs while I'm juggling other major things, you see? So, I hope this all sounds good to you. All right, this is the schedule for the next week. Now, one thing that I want to point attention to, the members' goal for the month of July has been set and already adjusted. I was telling you guys over the last few days that I knew at one point there was a large number of gifted memberships that had hit in early June. And when we hit that equal time here in July, it was going to lower our number of members. And it did. We went from like 550 members down to like 490 last night. So we lost a bunch of members. None you could do. They were gifted. I'm sure some people will renew. In fact, some people have, because as you can see, we're up to 501 now. So we kind of started climbing back up again. So the members goal for the month is now 540. That's what I'm trying to hit for the month. If we hit 540 members at any point during the month of July, we will lock in to the next special marathon event. During that event, yes, we'll do another fun episode of Feasting with the King. And what I'm thinking of doing is reacting to a shorter style video. And what I mean by that is maybe pick like a half an hour video to react to, because you know they'll take like an hour or two. And then what would we do for the rest of the day? Well, I had this idea, unique idea based on things we'd been talking about recently. All right. I will open my pants. No, I will open my closet over here. I will open the door like this. All right. And all of the skeletons will come tumbling out of the closet. Seriously.
Motherfucker stood up. There's a green box ticked. Just paused his ass while he's out his chair. But actually not bad for bingo here. It's going quite well. But yeah, I can't believe this is a fucking goal. I'm genuinely stunned. He thinks this is a good idea. It's gonna be so fucking boring. He's genuinely being for real. So for this to happen, he needs 39 more members. Although it might already be closer to it now. Keep in mind, I keep pausing. So we're way behind. We're like 25 minutes behind him right now or something. I want $100 from you guys to vacuum my living room. Donate now. Yeah. I know in part why he's doing this. Yeah. Watch a man angrily chew food while acting confused and overwhelmed by pure authentic flavour sensation.
You have no idea the amount of skeletons that I have in my closet that are just waiting to jump out and be revealed live on stream and expose me live to the internet.
What a boring bastard. It's funny because we're so far behind and kind of seeing like future things. Someone just super chatted him like 25 minutes from this point. Hey, big money to watch a podcast with him, Rich, Wings, Camelot, and Boogie. Especially to stick to Keem. Rich showed he supports you too. This is what I'm saying. Rich turning up in his chat the other night. He kind of restreamed Phil in a sense, but Phil called it was some kind of supportive collaboration or something kind of weird that way because all of Rich's fans were donating to Phil. This is also just Rich trying to get Phil on his good side and just trying to get him warm to the idea of doing this 50k podcast together because obviously it would benefit everyone generally. But Phil does not want to be seen as some sort of hypocrite for just suddenly accepting Keem's money when he's been fucking firing shots at him for so long. It's genuinely incredible that Phil will not do this. He won't swallow his pride and say, you know, this is something that can really help me financially. It's not going to stop Phil from doing what he does usually. And we're talking, I assume it's going to be a once a week thing. He might have to give up one stream a week, I imagine, to do this. I mean, most podcasts are like fucking once a week anyway. It might be once a month, but I assume it'd be once a week. And yet he's still not willing to do it. $50,000 guaranteed. Sacrificing like one stream a week or one stream a month, either or. To do this instead. He won't do it. He's a fucking moron. He's a goddamn imbecile. I don't know. I just don't know this guy.
Okay, bone meal. It's time to go back till Halloween. Sorry. Anyway. No. My closet is jam-packed full of goodies. And what I mean by that is that in there I have things from when I used to live in Connecticut over 8 years ago, packed into bins that have not been opened in 8 years, like a time capsule to my old life in Connecticut. Collectibles, decorations, games. I have old games in there buried, equipment, all kinds of shit. And then in addition to that, there's all this stuff that I've accumulated in the last 8 years since I've lived here in Washington State that's just sitting there untouched. Okay? So what I would like to do is take the opportunity to go through that stuff with all of you live and look at it all and say, what's of value that maybe I could use on a stream or I could put as a part of my content? What's not of any value that I want to throw out? And what's something that maybe I want to keep around just as a what if or a maybe a backup thing? Because, for example, there's a PC in there that's very old, like over 10 years old, but it's a backup. If anything ever goes wrong with my setup, at least I have a bare bones thing that I could just put on a basic stream. I probably wouldn't even be able to do gameplay, but at least I'd be able to at least stream and talk to you guys until I get something figured out, you see?
This is what I don't fucking get with Phil. He could technically do it on his phone. He could technically do a stream, like an emergency stream from his goddamn phone. It wouldn't be, it'd probably fucking better quality using his iPhone camera. He just fucking set against the wall or something, have it angled to him. He probably wouldn't be able, he can still use a fucking laptop to keep an eye on his fucking chat or whatever. He can use his phone as a camera and actually streaming from it as well. It's unreal that he thinks that he'd have no other option. Look at this, I've actually fucking paused perfectly on Phil choking on cock. This is how Phil chokes on cock. This is what Phil imagines it's like being in front of Hulk Hogan. Phil's got an actual iPhone he could do this stuff from if an emergency arose and he had to stream to let people know. He has the technology already in his hand. Oh, for God's sake, it's unbelievable. He's instead thinking that a computer which has been gathering dust for like 8 years is going to turn on straight away. It's going to be fine straight away. It'll fucking remember everything just to him. It's probably fucking... I mean, if he's not touched it in 8 goddamn years, that computer. He ranted about his phone camera being crap for vlogging at a con and he would have to buy a Comcast. No, it's fucking idiot, it's fucking idiot. Why is he so fucking stupid? Please make him stop being stupid. God damn it, why? Does he not understand the cameras in these phones are fucking great these days? Honestly, the more modern phones have amazing cameras, are far better than this shitty little camera he's using for this fucking stream. Or he'll never actually show the closet, he'll just come back in frame holding some dumb Elite Premium Edition swag he got with a $400 gears of Warfare package. That rule, if you haven't used it in a year, you don't need it. That's a decent rule, Cabane, it's a decent rule. He doesn't have a modern phone. How old is iPhone 5? I'm going to guess at least... Does he not have a modern phone? Is it still an iPhone 5 he's got? I don't even know how old that is. We're getting derailed and distracted from Phil's strange, choking on cock freeze frame face here. So let's play.
So, all those things that are trapped in the closet are just dying to get out. They want to be exposed. So, if we hit the members goal for this month, there'll be a fun marathon stream. Phil's coming out of the closet stream. All right, that's a terrible name for the stream. We definitely shouldn't call it that. We should think of something.
Yeah, we're sticking to that. We're absolutely sticking to that. Phil's finally coming out of the closet. He's admitted it. Phil is finally coming out of the closet. He's admitted it. He acknowledges it. He knows it's a thing. It's going to stick. Phil's coming out of the closet stream. Confirmed, set in stone. He's probably going to hit, if the members goes away, he will get 540. This dude's got a 10-year-old phone. That's crazy, man. Hey, as long as it plays WWE Champions for him, that's all that matters to him. That's all he cares about. He gets to play his dumb little game as much as he wants on the phone. It's all he needs it for.
Different, okay? We'll have to think of something different to name that stream. But it'll be a marathon of me checking that out. And then also, like I said, doing a smaller React style video. And then a Feasting with the King. So a different kind of marathon for sure, okay? Okay. Anyway, of course, people are going nuts in the chat now. What a shocking surprise. It's funny because people keep saying to me, I don't think that's going to be very interesting. And then every day I look in this closet and I pull something out that has a story and they're like, oh, what's that? And I'm like, well, let's just save it for the event. I bet you right now I could find you something interesting. All right? I bet you right now I could find you something fun. Let's see. What's that?
What a boring bastard. What a boring, shitty little life this guy's got.
Oh God, I didn't even remember I had this. Look at this.
Shut up, bitch!
This probably doesn't even work anymore. I almost guarantee you this doesn't. Wow, I bought this. I'm almost positive I bought this in 2013, and I'm almost positive this would not even work on a modern PC anymore. Not even open. What is it? Well, you'll find out if we hit the members goal for the month.
Wait, what the fuck? Why did they fucking buy it then? What was the fucking point in buying that? What was that fucking thing? Intensity? Let's fucking go back a second. That was something like power cords. A bunch of different adapters to go into it. I assume it's something where you can have multiple consoles connected to the same kind of source, maybe, so you can easily interchange between one thing and another. There's also like different kind of SCART, you know, all those fucking old-fashioned, video cable, audio cable. It looks that kind of old-fashioned thing, you know. You'd have like all these different cables going in for video, and this is basically for HDMI, I think. I'm assuming that's what it is. It's some sort of video capture, multiple video capture. Yeah, it looks like multiple things. You just looked up. Is it something for multiple video sources and audio sources? So maybe you could have like the Xbox and the PlayStation hooked up to the same kind of thing to go between the two easily. Is that what it is? The Blackmagic Intensity Shuttle provides a live video stream over its USB 3.0 connection. Yes. So it's the Blackmagic. So it's actually for streaming as well. It's a streaming thing. It's incredible. It's not even unwrapped. So why did he buy it? He bought it and then just forgot he had it. Why the fuck did he buy it? This guy is a fucking hoarder of stuff. He's an absolute hoarder. It's unbelievable. It fucking blows my mind how stupid this idiot is with money. It fucking... Do not give this man money. He will waste it on stupid shit. He has for years. He's wasted it on this stupid shit years ago, and he's still doing it today.
What is it? Well, you'll find out if we hit the members goal for the month. There you go. All right. All right, let's not jump the gun. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, right? We got to hit the members goal. So if you are not a member of this channel, I have to ask you, what are you waiting for? Here's the benefits. Highlight a name in stream chat. You don't have to abide by slow mode rules. You can talk as much as you want. A cool chat crown badge to show how long you've been a channel member. Access to all of my emotes, which are a ton. At this point, I'm trying to remember how many there are. There's a ridiculous amount of emotes here unlocked on the channel. Premium forum, no, not premium forum access. Premium access to polling is what I meant to say. For example, the current Viewer's Choice event that's starting tonight, members got to highlight nominations and vote exclusively for a game for them to be in the final poll. And of course, that was Batman Arkham Asylum, which looks like it's not going to win. But it was third place. Okay? But anyway.
So there's no real incentive to become a member of DSP Gaming. And I tried to say this earlier on, but I think Phil started and kind of derailed me. I'm not doing memberships on this channel. I was thinking about it. I was mulling over since I had it as an option. I did a poll, and it looked like 2 out of every 3 people wouldn't think it'd be a worthwhile thing to become a member. And I've kind of got to agree with that. I have no real incentive to offer you. Every good idea I had for members is technically against YouTube terms of services. Like make it members only, that they can win stuff in bingo. Like if I feed, I can't, because it's technically a lot. Bingo's are lotteries essentially, you know what I mean? So I can't incentivize that financially for people to become members. It feels like, so every kind of solid idea I had for memberships was just not allowed on YouTube, and that was like the only good idea I had. So fuck it, everyone's, if we win, if I can get a full bingo card completed, someone in chat will win a prize. There's no restrictions or anything. It's just whoever's in chat will win something, and it's the best way I can do that and try and give back to you guys, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm not doing memberships. I mean, the way I see it, I should prefer that, because I feel like I have not much to offer in that regard. And yeah, there's no fucking restrictions on chat as well. Cobain says he can talk as fast as he wants. Good luck keeping up with me. I talk very fast. I talk too fast for most people sometimes, you know what I mean? Because of my fucking Scottish accent, I guess. I don't know why, but I talk way too fast for most people's ears to keep up with. So you try and fucking talk as fast as me. You won't do it, Cobain. You just won't be able to keep up. I'm fast as fuck, boy. BST, thank you very much. It's good to be back. Yeah, I wouldn't want anything with memberships. I just like to toss some bones if I can every now and then to people who... That's kind of the thinking I had as well, Cobain. Like, memberships are like a weird kind of monthly contract thing, which is what I'm saying. If I had something to offer people, maybe, but I don't. I like the idea, if people want to tip me, they can. If people want to super chat me, they can. It's just impulsive. I mean, that's what I'm saying. If people want to, they can whenever they want. And they don't have to, but it's there for them if they do. Membership's like a once a month thing, you're kind of signed into it or whatever, you know, that's I don't like the idea of that because I don't have much to offer. So, yeah, there is no real benefit to being a member to his channel, DSP Gaming especially, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though, I have enough, you guys stay... Honestly, I leave the time and these restreams, I can't ever stand to stay the whole time. You guys stay the entire time I stream, and that's commendable. We've got a game to bingo to win, Cobain. That's such a simple truth of the matter. We are trying to win bingo here. And if we get a full card of this filled up, someone in chat wins a prize. We're actually making this quite transformative. We're making this into a game. We are playing a game with his dumbass little face, where if he does all these things on this card, someone in our chat, not his, but our chat, will win something for it. So let's just keep playing and see if we can get some more things ticked off the bingo card. So here we go.
Anyway, there's many benefits to being a member. All right, please consider joining, and remember, gifted memberships are available on this channel. If you want to help out another fellow viewer, you want to contribute in a way that has nothing to do with directly, you know, giving me something, but if you want to help out fellow viewers that like the content, you can gift a bunch of memberships to the channel, and that helps, man. Okay. Sound.
Cheers, Cobain. I'm glad someone likes those daft fucking rap videos. It is funny, man. Those videos don't usually do too well in terms of numbers, you know, but I enjoy making them sometimes, the daffy videos. How has he not said support yet? He's talking about people trying to give memberships. No, he's not said support. It's driving me mad. This is the thing about Phil. He tries to find these different words. He'll say support almost every fucking time, sometimes, and then he'll fucking use a different word out of the blue. He'll use every single other word under the sun other than like support. Well, he'll call someone a troll, he'll call someone a moron, he'll call somebody stupid, but he won't be calling them an idiot. It drives me goddamn crazy.
Sounds good? Alright, very nice. So that's exciting. My nose is bothering me. It's funny, it wasn't bothering me at all, and all of a sudden my entire left nostril has stuffed up today.
McDougal, you're 12, what is this? This is me playing bingo with DSP Gaming's A-Stream podcast, which is now renamed the Level 1 podcast. So yeah, welcome to the stream if you're 12, and if you don't like rude language, you might not want to be here, because I say rude things sometimes, because I can't help it. But I hope you're doing well, McDougal. And yeah, we're trying to play bingo with DSP Gaming's podcast. That's the best way I can explain that.
I don't know why. It's annoying. Okay. We got a lot of shout outs to do, but first I want to talk about my history with Final Fantasy VII. So please allow me to talk about my history with Final Fantasy VII. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for a story. I think we will call this segment Story Time. Time for a Phil story time. Once upon a time, when I was growing up in the 1990s and video games were becoming more and more prominent, okay, I ended up becoming a fan of JRPGs in a very interesting way. I owned game consoles, but I didn't own any.
Would anyone object if I put it to 1.5 speed? It was an old internet joke I had a Cinema Phoenix Agent proper stream. Yeah, McDougal. I mean, I know several people are restreaming right now. You've got That Being Said podcast, which I was checking out about. I was also checking out Agent Proper. I know there's several detractors that are live right now. So if people want to be there instead, I don't mind that. I'm almost saying we're just playing bingo here, and it's also me ranting. I don't object to people wanting to check out and support our detractors and watch their stuff, you know. If people want to do that, that's fair enough, I understand that. I've known of the streams and kind of aye. Time for embellishments and lies, yep. I'm going to put it to 1.5 speed. Deadhead Comics about season tickets, not for me. No season tickets for me. Just turn up when you want. But yeah, let's change this to 1.5 speed and see if we can keep up with Phil's rambling during the story time. Go.
RPGs. I was playing games like Super Mario Brothers and the like. Well, a cousin of mine owned Dragon Warrior, which I believe was called Dragon Quest in Japan. But Dragon Warrior was the Americanized version of Dragon Quest for the NES, a turn-based game with random encounters and interesting menus and systems. It was kind of a sim as much as it was a game, you see? And I remember watching him play it, and I was intrigued. Now, I never owned Dragon Warrior myself, but I always watched my cousin play it and was wondering, I wonder, you know, how this game would play if I played it, or I wonder if there's other games like this. Fast forward 2 years later, and my other cousin, liking Dragon Warrior, had purchased Final Fantasy II for the Super Nintendo. Now, personally, at first, I wasn't sold on Final Fantasy II. My cousin was and wanted to play it, so she would play it all the time. And sometimes I would watch her play Final Fantasy II. Keep in mind, Final Fantasy II is Final Fantasy IV internationally, but it was called Final Fantasy II in the United States because there wasn't any ports of the real Final Fantasy II or III. They just skipped right from the original Final Fantasy I on NES to Final Fantasy IV on the SNES, so they called it Final Fantasy II, okay? So, watching my cousin play it, I became intrigued. Why? Because it actually had an interesting, dramatic story. I wasn't used to that in video games. I was used to games with bleeps and bloops and squish a bunch of enemies and, you know, do something action-based. I was never accustomed to actually having an interesting story like that. In addition, the game had really good music, I felt. Compared to any of the other games at the time that I was playing, it felt very, very cinematic, very, very dramatic and epic. So after watching my cousin play Final Fantasy II for a while, I just started my own run. I went on a separate save file in the game. And it was funny because we would actually alternate between playing this game. I really liked it, but I found it very challenging. I'd never played a game like that before. And then eventually, she was trying to beat the game and got stuck on the final boss for an exceptionally long period of time. If I remember, it was like weeks. She kept trying to beat the final boss, couldn't beat it. And I remember she went back and grinded in the final dungeon and then went back and was able to beat the game. So then, of course, I was inspired to go back and I went back and beat the game. But then I basically replayed that game a ton of times, like maybe 3-4 different times, each time trying to master different elements of the game, figure out stuff that previously I didn't know about it. I started going and looking for strategies and things like strategy guides and stuff that would have tips and things maybe in the game I didn't know. Basically, I went crazy on it and I absolutely loved it. And then I wanted to seek out other games that were like that. But at the time, I only had Super Nintendo, and actually it was the Sega Genesis that had a lot of RPG franchises like Fantasy Star and stuff like that. So really, I was missing out on a lot of games of the JRPG genre at the time, only having the Super Nintendo. Eventually, Final Fantasy III came out. Again, this one was Final Fantasy VI worldwide, but it was called Final Fantasy III in the US because they never ported Final Fantasy V, so how are you going to go from 2 to 6? Doesn't make sense. So, Final Fantasy III, exceptionally good game. Really good, major improvements to Final Fantasy II. Even more characters this time around. Felt really interesting because you weren't playing the same character for the whole game. Like in Final Fantasy II, you're essentially playing Cecil. In Final Fantasy III, at any time during the story, you can end up playing as a variety of characters. You know, Terra, Locke, Celeste, Sabin or Edgar, the brothers, Setzer, among many others. All these characters become main characters during the course of the game, and you can control and play your own.
Yeah. Money, money. Oh, money, money. Yeah. Money, money.
Do you appreciate it, man? Towards a coffee, keep you awake towards this shite. Yeah. I'm doing my best to stay awake. I was very damn tempted to put it on 2 times speed and rather than 1.5 because his story time bullshit is so annoying. It really is so god awful, his story time crap. Just the most boring, mundane shit. Also, I feel like he said support. No, he said contributions. He said contributions before he started his story, that's what it was. Well, thank you very much for the super chat, D-Dog. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. But, there's certainly a jingle. The jingle always makes me like, every time I hear that jingle, my ears prop up, you know. I do a little dance. Money, money, yeah. Money. It's fucking, I love that tune so much. But thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Let's see if we can get some. We've not even got one bingo yet. Well, right now it's 1.5 speed. Let me do 1.75 speed for you, right? And you'll see how much faster it is, okay?
Little scenarios and stories. I absolutely loved Final Fantasy III. At the time, it was my favorite game of all time. It would beat any other game that I liked. But then, around that same time period, I started falling in love with Street Fighter in arcades. So it was kind of like this weird, dual existence. I went to arcades to play competitive fighting games, and whenever I was home, I usually played JRPGs. Okay? Then I just immersed myself. I started playing games like Chrono Trigger, all right? Secret of Mana, Earthbound, all right? Then I started to branch out and get other game consoles, and then as time went on, I ended up playing so many different RPG franchises. Seriously, like, you know, I mentioned Wild Arms, the Sweet.
Is that too fast? Is that a bit too fast? This is 1.75. So it's like we're getting through the story a lot faster, but it's kind of he is going so fast. We might miss something. It's okay. We're all good. Okay, we'll keep going like this for now, then, right?
Suikoden series and other things like that, and later on games like Xenoblade. Geez, I could probably go on and on talking about all the Grandia, all the different RPGs I played over the years. Like I really love JRPGs. Okay, so
That's my history with JRPGs. But what about Final Fantasy VII, which is the subject matter of today, because that's what we're going to start playing, right? Well, I remember the era when we were leaving 16-bit and we were heading into the future. We had the Nintendo 64, and then we had the PlayStation 1. Those were essentially your two options. I mean, yes, there was the Sega Saturn, but in the United States, I don't know how many of you were American like me, it wasn't a big deal. The Saturn actually was a huge flop in the United States. Within a year of its launch, it had failed so badly, you could buy the Saturn for like $50 at a store, and a ton of games for like another $50. I did that. I went to Toys R Us, and they were doing basically liquidation of the inventory, and for $100, I ended up coming home with a Saturn, an extra controller, and like 10 games for $100, because they just wanted to get rid of their inventory. But PlayStation and Nintendo 64 were in a heated battle, all right, for market share. Everyone thought at first that Final Fantasy VII was going to end up being a Nintendo exclusive. All the Final Fantasy games up to that point had been, either on the NES or the Super NES. So it was a no-brainer that the next one was actually going to be on Nintendo. And it was funny because for the first time ever, Square, they were Square Soft back then, by the way, not Square Enix, this was before the two companies merged, announced that it was going to be called Final Fantasy VII, to which Americans started scratching their heads and said, but the last one released here was Final Fantasy III. What happened to Final Fantasy 4, 5, and 6? It's confusing as shit. Where the hell are the games, right? It was this time that we started to learn about the differences between American and Japanese releases and how frequently games would be completely renamed for different audiences. And of course, the confusion that it led to. But basically, once Final Fantasy VII was coming out, they were like, fuck that. From now on, we're just going to follow the correct numbers of these installments so that people worldwide know exactly what we're talking about, okay? Now, originally, Final Fantasy VII was rumored and was heavily being talked about as being an N64 game. But then all of a sudden, at one point during its development, it was shifted over and announced for the first time ever it would actually be on a different console, the PlayStation 1. And if I remember correctly, the reasoning was they had looked at the capabilities of the N64, which was cartridge-based, still had cartridges to plug into your console, and realized cartridges...
This is too fast. I'm going back to 1.5 speed, guys, right? I'm sorry, but we are trying to play bingo here after all. So we need to make sure we're catching things, and some of the words are going right over each other, but you know, with the speed we're going. So we're going to 1.5 speed, it's still going to sped up. We've not missed anything, I believe, you know. I'm pretty confident we've not really missed anything. But yeah, we're going to slow down just a little bit.
Weren't going to have enough storage capacity, nor have modern enough technology to really do what they wanted to do with this game. They wanted to have really CD quality audio. They wanted to have a vast world, and having it on a cartridge was not going to be possible. In addition, making cartridges was very expensive compared to just publishing a CD to pump into a game console. So by making Final Fantasy VII for the PlayStation, they were able to make this game a multiple disc game. It was actually one of the first major games that people bought back in the day, that when you bought it, it was a big case of games. It wasn't just one disc, it was a case with multiple CDs that you would have to switch at one point during the story to continue on playing the game. So, I remember the hype for Final Fantasy VII. Now here's the thing, it's not that there wasn't hype for Final Fantasy games before this, absolutely there was. But Final Fantasy VII is really the first time in my life that I remember a game getting major media blitz style hype. What I mean by that is, every gaming magazine was covering Final Fantasy VII at length. Every aspect of its development, little tidbits of information, anything a game magazine said about Final Fantasy VII, that magazine would sell like hotcakes, okay? I remember everyone being so hyped. The date, I can't remember exactly the release date, but it was like everyone was hyped for the release date. People were pre-ordering the game. That was unheard of. At this point in history, people were not pre-ordering video games. They would just go to the store on release day and buy them, and usually there was no issue with the game selling out. In the case of Final Fantasy VII, the hype was so real that game stores were warning everyone, if you don't pre-order this game, you'll likely not get it at release. You have to pre-order to lock in your guarantee. And I even remember, this was one of the very few times at this point in history where you would get a pre-order bonus at Electronics Boutique. That's right, EB Games or Electronics Boutique, not GameStop. We're talking the predecessor to that. Electronics Boutique was offering a poster, and then on the other side of the poster, a map of the world of Final Fantasy VII as a pre-order bonus if you ordered it ahead of time, okay? So, it was ridiculous. It was so hyped. It was, and I remember looking at the pictures and magazines and everything and saying, I don't know about this. You know, I'm used to the pixelated graphics, the 16-bit style graphics of Final Fantasy up to this point. I was in love with the Super Nintendo and its graphics. I thought that console was absolutely amazing, and I was fine with that. Now, I'd already been experienced to some extent of games moving into the 3D era. In arcades, games like Virtua Fighter and Tekken had moved fighting games from a 2D pixelated hand-drawn art style into 3D renders. And let's be honest, go take a look at Virtua Fighter 1 and Tekken 1. You tell me what you think they look like today, because that's what 3D looked like back in the day when games were moving from pixels to polygons. And I was like, dude, if it's anything like these arcade games, I don't want Final Fantasy to look like that. I would rather have pixel art. In my opinion, it looked better, all right? So I was very skeptical, but pretty much everyone bought into the hype. People who had never played Final Fantasy before were insanely hyped for Final Fantasy VII coming out, okay? I actually remember the day that it came out, going to Electronics Boutique. I had pre-ordered it, and I went to Electronics Boutique to get the game. And there was a line of people, unheard of. You would never go to a game store, and there was a giant line of people buying the game at this time. This was one of the first times it ever happened. And I remember being in line, and like 3 spots ahead of me in line, there's a guy, kind of a...
Shut up, Phil, you dick. D-Dog, he said in chat, I worked in the industry. Cartridges were cheaper and quicker than burning a CD. He's full of it. That actually surprises me. I generally thought that it would be more expensive overall to produce the same number of cartridges compared to a CD disc. You think, because obviously CD discs also they're more streamlined, there's less bulk to them, like cartridges are thick, bulky things, aren't they? Really, plastic. All the materials all plastic, and CD discs are just. You think to me it might make more sense that it would actually be. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I'm surprised that I actually would believe Phil when he said that cartridges would be more expensive than doing CD discs for storing games. CDs were just coming out of that, so it was new technology. So at first, maybe when it first came out, because it was a new technology, it was not cheaper to mass produce it. I could very well be it then. Obviously, yeah, as I'm saying, I don't remember. Obviously, I went from my gaming history, in general, went from. So I was a Commodore 64 guy, and I was Mega Drive. I went from Mega Drive to. I skipped everything. I went from Mega Drive to PlayStation 1. So I went from. So I went from like the cartridges, and then was on to PlayStation 1. I missed out on Nintendo 64, I missed out on Sega Saturn, didn't bother with a Dreamcast or whatever. I just went from Mega Drive to PlayStation 1. And yeah, God, it was just kind of weird having memory cards and all that shit, to save stuff. It was freaking cool. I thought, but yeah, I thought it was cool. He had these kind of wee discs to load, I'd always buy the official PlayStation monthly magazine, UK Gamer. I'd also have these wee demo discs as well. I just assumed at that time they weren't too expensive to make out, especially if they could make demo discs for people to sell. Maybe that was a stage when it wasn't as new, that technology. But I got no idea though. Let's see what he said. D-Dog say, no sir, CDs took time, cartridges were quicker, then less employee, then less employee to take time and wages. Okay. I worked for Sega in the 90s. Okay, fair enough. That's actually good to know. That's what I'm saying. I would not have actually. Obviously, it makes sense that at first, when it's a new technology, it wouldn't be as cheap. Obviously, with time going on and technology improving, you can make certain technology cheaper to produce stuff, whatever. But when it's first new, it does make sense as well that it wouldn't be cheaper, because obviously people have been doing it the old way, the cartridge way, for example. Obviously, they fucking know everything inside out about that, so they know how to make the most of that to its full potential. It's actually very interesting to know that it's at first that it actually was still cheaper to do cartridges than CDs. So Phil, looks like you're wrong, Phil. And that's the thing, I generally would have believed that, because I'm just used to these days it's so easy to make a CD or something, or a DVD or something, just using the discs. It's just way too easy to fucking have that. So yeah, as the Sid says, good to see behind the curtain with an industry vet instead of I know everything. Phil, that's what I'm saying. I really do appreciate the input, So yeah, I appreciate that knowledge. Knowledge is power. Power is the bomb, and I'd appreciate knowing that. I would not have guessed. So thank you very much, D-Dog, for sharing that intelligence with us. Appreciate it. Let's go back to Phil's annoying story.
Nerdy guy, all right, picking up Final Fantasy VII. We're all there for it. That's what the line is for. And the EB Games worker says to the guy, "Sir, I'm sorry, but we've run out of the pre-order poster. This game has unprecedented amounts of interest, far more than I guess EB had anticipated. They only had a certain amount of these posters / maps to give out per store, and they had run out." He's like, "So I'm very sorry, but we don't have any more." And the guy went ballistic. He was fucking pissed. He's like, "I pre-ordered like everyone else. I waited in this line. Who are you to tell me I want one right now?" And they're like, "Dude, they don't have it. We don't have one. How can I give you something we don't have? We don't fucking draw it for you, And the guy was like so ripping pissed. His face got red. I remember. And now, of course, I didn't really care that I didn't get the poster or whatever. But, at this time, again, it was something, it was almost like I was there for the launch of Final Fantasy VII, and I got the launch poster, and here it is. It's prestigious. I'll show it to you years later, right? I was there for the moment. And that guy didn't get it. So he went home and he probably cried himself to sleep. But anyway.
This is something Phil does a lot. Phil glorifies in the suffering of others, We've seen Phil freak out about minor shit, which to him is like fucking super important, but to most people it's like, is that it? Really? You need to fucking calm down, Phil. And he's like, I paid for this with my own money and all that shit. Phil's had fucking much worse freakouts than this before. And he's mocking this guy for having this little freakout, and he's such a toxic guy. He's done it several times before. Remember he had his day off and he seen that family in the shoe shop, and the old grandpa was like trying to treat everyone to like new trainers and all that shit. But because he was travelling from out of state, the payment declined. Phil told that story with a smile on his face, laughing about it. He glorified in the suffering of that old man trying to treat his family to something nice. He's such a horrible, toxic person. This is what I'm saying, Phil. We need to keep playing. We need to get through this.
I remember when I first played Final Fantasy VII, putting it into my PlayStation 1. And the first thing I said was, fuck, the load times suck, man. That was one of the things from the jump from 16-bit to CD-based load times. There were no real load times until then. Cartridges were like instant loading. And to actually have to sit there and wait for loading was a pain in the fucking ass for people like me who had never had that experience before, okay? But I remember I was completely torn on this game. And here's why. I didn't like the graphics. I thought having these pre-rendered backgrounds with 3D pixelated polygon characters, they didn't look good. I would have preferred the 16-bit style. I wanted the characters to look like that. I was pissed that they had rendered them all in 3D because I didn't think they looked very good at the time, okay? The music. I'll be honest with you guys, I was kind of disappointed, and here's why. If you listen to the soundtrack of Final Fantasy VII, not a remix soundtrack, but the original, like we're going to hear when I play the game today, the music sounds like MIDI music. It doesn't sound stereo or CD quality. It sounds kind of garbled, and I was like, if we're moving to the CD era.
Deadhead Comics says, get the games in the bars. I cannot lie, I used to do that a lot when I was younger. My dad would take us all to the bars to look for a wee bargain for some, some discounted, music and games as well. I did have like some kind of wee chipped PlayStation of sorts. It was like some sort of card that went into the back of the PlayStation, But so it had like a wee, you put a wee spring on the inside of the console for the tray to make it think it was still closed when you opened it, essentially, I think. And I had a sort of cheat code cartridge card, which had a bunch of stuff on it. And I was definitely, we were frequent visitors to the bars, put it that way, Deadhead Comics, to get some discounted gaming products from maybe not entirely legitimate sources, I must admit. I was a child, I didn't know better, I didn't realise what was going on, I was just there with a family. Fucking getting the latest Now 34 2-tape track. Anyone remember those fucking music compilations, Now 34 and Now 56 or whatever? Jesus Christ, man. The bars was like, 2 for a $5, 2 for a $5. Oh yeah, fucking going to Asda and paying like fucking $12.99 for this, where we can go to the bars and get it for a few quid. Christ, man. Has cartridge technology been out longer with Atari and arcade machines? CDs were still testing this, cassettes were still faster as well. Bloody hell. D-Dog with the knowledge dropping. Yes, I'm saying it's very fascinating to understand that even also CDs coming out doesn't mean that it was cheaper to do it straight away. Obviously, it took time for game developers and everyone in general to maximise the effectiveness of CDs and technology and getting as much as you can on those CDs and mass producing them to the extent where it would be more beneficial and cheaper than doing cartridges. It obviously took time to work out the kinks of all that. So yeah, it's fascinating to know for sure for me. I was too young to understand. I mean, I was a teenager when I played like PlayStation, and I never thought about that shit. I just kind of thought, oh, I want to play this game. I want to get this game now. I want to get that game now. I never fucking thought, I wonder if this is more expensive to make on this console than that console. I didn't give a shit at the time. I was too young.
Games are on CDs. Why does this not sound like a band is playing the music? There were other games that had that. There were other games that had full CD quality music at the time, and Final Fantasy VII did not. And I was actually really disappointed with that. I don't get it. I thought that it was supposed to sound better than this if your games are on a CD. Why does it sound so inferior compared to what I was expecting? Now, in reality, long term, now that I listen to the soundtrack of Final Fantasy VII, I actually like it. I do. At the time, I didn't, for whatever reason. But now I think about some of the kicking tunes of the game, like Cosmo Canyon, or the boss theme, or Genova's theme, or the Sephiroth theme at the end of the game, or the Sephiroth, or whatever it is. Those are some epic fucking songs. They sound absolutely amazing. To this day, people still think of those games as synonymous as some of the best gaming music of all time. What's his name? Nobuo Uematsu, the composer of Final Fantasy. This was some of his best work he'd ever done. But back then, in the frame of reference of that time, I was disappointed with Final Fantasy VII. And as I played the game, I could definitely tell you guys, the thing that I most disliked about the game was the plot. And the reason I say that is, even though the game featured one of the biggest plot twists of all time, meaning one of your main characters actually dies and does not continue with you for the rest of the game. And
spoilers? I know it's an old game. Spoilers? Does he not care just spoiling the game for everyone that may not have played it? Some people might not have played this goddamn game yet, and he's just spoiling it for them right now.
And never comes back from the dead. This was unheard of at the time. There were games where characters die, okay? But never did a main character disappear and be gone for the rest of the game. I had experienced loss before in previous Final Fantasy games, right? I mean, take a look at a game like Final Fantasy 2/4, where one of the early on party members, Tella, ends up passing away at one point during the game. So I'd seen this happen before, but in this case, this is one of the main characters. It's like, whoa, that blew me away that they did that in the plot. But that being said, overall, I didn't like the plot of the game. I felt that Cloud was the weakest protagonist that I played so far in Final Fantasy. Keep in mind the other Final Fantasy games I had played. Final Fantasy II featured Cecil, a very interesting character. The beginning of the game, he's a very loyal soldier. He's doing everything his king is telling him, not questioning it, even though he feels emotionally and morally torn on the inside that what he's doing is wrong. He's just doing what he's told by those in power. Then eventually he basically turns against that, tries to be, his own guy, and eventually breaks free of his Dark Knight persona, becoming a paladin, and now for the rest of the game, he's trying to save the world and do what's right when he uncovers a hidden conspiracy. Okay? That's a pretty strong character. All right? Now take a look at Final Fantasy 3/6. Ridiculous amount of interesting characters, right? Like I said, Terra, who starts off as almost like a blank slate, but over the course of the game starts to remember who she is and discover who she is as a person. Locke, who's a really well-written character, really interesting history as you uncover his story during the course of the game. Celeste, same thing, kind of almost like a Cecil character, where she's working for the Empire, but then eventually has to realize that the Empire's bad and has to turn against them. And the game has so many strong, well-written characters. And then you play Final Fantasy VII, and Cloud is just so fucking boring. He is annoying. He is like the most boring protagonist. Now the thing is, the game actually does a good job of explaining why later on, the further you get into the game. But you have to get pretty far into the game to finally get an explanation of why your main character sucks. And I remember playing Final Fantasy VII and saying, I like everyone else. I like Barret. I like Aerith. I like Red 13. I like every character that you were introduced to over the course of the game. I like. Cloud I fucking hated, and that was the character you're stuck with the whole fucking game. I'm like, man, I'm stuck with this shit. So anyway, I just remember, but here's the thing. I was torn, and here's why I was torn. Because I really liked the gameplay of the game. I felt what they did with the combat engine and the materia system was the logical evolution of what they had previously done in Final Fantasy VI, where every character has a limit break, and you could level that up and or get new limit breaks over the course of the campaign of the game, making the characters change over time and evolve. In addition, the materia system was the logical evolution of what they had done with the Magicite system in Final Fantasy VI, and I really liked the Magicite system, so to see that be carried on and improved in Final Fantasy VII, I absolutely loved, okay? So, all that being said, it was definitely kind of a torn feeling. I was like, oh, I like this a lot, but I don't like this. Anyway, by the time that I finished the game, to say that I was disappointed would be a major understatement, because I don't want to spoil, because many of you don't know how Final Fantasy VII ends, because the Final Fantasy VII remake that we all played a couple years ago is not this game. I should clarify this. This game will start off similar to the Final Fantasy VII remake, but as you're going to see as we play along the original, that remake takes a lot of creative liberties with things that happen in the game, and or adds a lot of supplementary content that's not present in this game, and then this game just continues on from there in a very different fashion. Once the game goes open world, essentially it's a whole new game compared to Final Fantasy VII Remake. And that's only 1/3 of the game. There's another 2/3 left that you guys may not have seen if you never played the original game, okay?
I think that's a T-pose. I think, let's just see, is this a T-pose, guys?
From there, in a very different fashion, once the game goes open world, essentially
it's kind of like a T-pose.
Whole new game.
He's the arms are outstretched, He's like he's trying to hug somebody that's not there. Isn't that a T-pose? No. People are saying no T. Some are saying it is a T-pose, some are saying it's not. He probably will do it at some point properly later on. It gets way more animated as the fucking stream goes on. Especially when he fucking goes through his tips not shit and the fucking support he gets not shit. So a pose, I guess, if you're picky. We'll leave it for now, right? We'll see how we do.
Game compared to Final Fantasy VII Remake. And that's only 1/3 of the game. There's another 2/3 left that you guys may not have seen if you never played the original game, okay? So, I'm very excited, all right, to play this game again for many different reasons. Number one, I know I'm going to like the gameplay. It's addicting, it's fun, and I love that turn-based style of gameplay for JRPGs. But now, as an adult, 40 years old, last time I played this game, I was probably like 20, okay? 40-year-old, playing the game, perhaps I will appreciate the plot.
Oh, hold the fuck on. Hold. We need to fucking go back on that. He's pretending he was a kid when he last played this. We need to go back to that.
Oh, last time I played this game, I was probably like 20.
20 years old. I thought that was a story of him as a kid playing it with his cousin. But was he actually a 20-year-old man playing this and like loving the fucking sprite graphics or some shit and what? Or is he talking about he might be talking, I don't even fucking know. I just love how though, like, in Phil's head, him being 20 is like a child. Yeah, that's the thing. He's 40 years out. Bleh. He's 40-year-old now, and he's still like, I can't fucking speak. What the fuck? Acting drunk. He is a 40-year-old man right now, and he still acts like a fucking baby. He's a 40-year-old boy. He is a 40-year-old goddamn boy at this rate. Playing about video games. And he doesn't get his pocket money from his goddamn fans in time. Fucking wah. Cat's making me din din, aka his mummy. Making din din for him later on. And his pocket money to enjoy his fucking day off. Jesus Christ, Phil.
Okay? 4-year-old playing the game. Perhaps I will appreciate the plot more this time around. Maybe I'll like the game a lot more this time around. I don't know. We're going to find out as I play through it, you know, the difference maybe between the remake and this, but also how will I feel about certain characters, how will I feel about certain plot points and gameplay elements. There's dungeons that I remember absolutely hating in the game. Maybe I won't hate them anymore, or vice versa. Maybe there's things I used to like that I will hate this time. I don't know. But also, having an interactive audience is going to be amazing because it's going to just be a completely original and different experience, re-experiencing Final Fantasy VII with you guys. I know it will be. I've played other games now with this audience that have changed the way that I thought about the game. Skyrim, we just finished. That was an epic 6-month playthrough, 140 hours. That was completely different from my original playthrough. Holy shit, it couldn't be any more different, right? That's what I mean. I really feel like this is going to be exciting to re-experience this game and try to be honest about it, you know, try to be transparent about my thoughts while also all of us enjoying and you guys will be telling you what you think too, right? So I'm very, very excited. I hope you guys are too. This is going to be a good one for the summer. And by the way, I'm so happy I get to do this. I wanted to do this 2 to 3 years ago, but you guys wanted Final Fantasy IX, which I was okay with, but then we didn't have time to do it. And then the remake came out and we didn't have time to prepare for the remake. So I wasn't able at that time to directly compare the original game to the remake because I hadn't played the original game in so long. Now that there's the announcement of the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth coming out, which is now the second part of a remake trilogy, this is excellent because we'll be able to re-experience the original. And then when the Rebirth comes out, we can see the differences in the plot from the original and this new one where I know for a fact there's certain characters that are alive in Rebirth that have passed away in the regular Final Fantasy VII, and we'll be able to see the differences, okay? Excuse me. Whew. So, a lot of people have a midlife crisis, right? They hit like 40 years old and they start to look at their life and they freak out. Oh my God, I'm locked into a family life I hate. I'll never get out of this. So what do? They run out and they blow all their money and they buy a convertible and they drive around in like a Ferrari or, you know, a fucking sports car and they freak out. What do? I say, oh, I like my life at 40, but I want to replay Final Fantasy VII. This is my midlife playthrough.
Well, you've not even fucking left infancy yet. You're still a fucking child. Physically, yes, you're probably beyond your midlife point. You ain't fucking living to 80, pal. There's no fucking way. But mentally, you're barely a fucking teenager at this point, man. Jesus Christ. Grow the fuck up, Phil.
Final Fantasy VII is being marked officially as my midlife playthrough. What do you think about that? Anyway, all right. That's pretty much what I have to say about the game. I'm very excited. Oh, by the way, you would think running on PlayStation 5, this thing will be like instant loading, which is going to actually immediately take away a lot of my complaints about the original games that the loading time sucked. But since we're on a modern console, maybe it'll be just like this and it won't be an issue, right? That would be excellent. We can actually not have that problem. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the Level 1 podcast and to my story about Final Fantasy VII. I hope that you've enjoyed it. And I hope that you will join me, all right, for this very fun playthrough over the course of this month.
We're back to normal speed, guys.
Let's be honest, this game is very lengthy. So likely it's going to end up being balanced into next month as well. Although what I would like is to finish this within, say, a month and a half. Maybe have time to play the other RPG I was interested in, if you're not aware. I was also very interested in playing Earthbound. But there's absolutely no way I'm playing Earthbound and Final Fantasy VII at the same time. So maybe if we do wrap this playthrough up, say, by like early August, maybe we would have time to do that as well. I would love to do that. But let's see. I don't want to pressure myself. I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. Let's see how Final Fantasy VII goes. And by the way, I really hope that you guys will show up for these streams. I'll be honest with you, I'm a little nervous that there will be ongoing support for Final Fantasy VII. Maybe it'll be something that on a whim, you know, at first people check out and then...
Hey, it said support. We've got another one to tick. We've not actually got a bingo yet, which is kind of annoying. But it said support, so there we go. We're close to a bingo. If he has a voice crack and says shocked, that's a bingo. If he does a face jiggle and a voice crack, that's a bingo. If he does a leaning ban and says nobody or no one, that's a bingo. If it says everyone is saying leaning ban, we're close to bingos all over the gaff here. But we're not there yet.
It'll kind of die out. This happens with RPGs. But I would hope because it's the big RPG that everyone talks about, and it's the first time I'm ever playing it with you guys, that hopefully it would garner some interest and people will show up and engage and support, and it'll be a fun playthrough for the summer, not a dud. I am nervous. I'll be honest. I'm nervous it's going to be a dud. That we're going to have one stream that's good, and then after that, it's just going to fizzle out. I hope not. Okay? Okay. Let's get to shout-outs, because you guys have been contributing like crazy this morning. And I want to shout out all your contributions. So here we go.
Yeah, but by the way, it's like fucking 8:40. We are behind by like 40 minutes. Look at that shit. We're behind by 40 minutes. I'm going to adjust quality. It went down to like 4:8. Oh shit. No, I'm not going to adjust the quality in case it skips forward. It went into 480p though. And again, do we want to see Phil on like 1080p? No, we don't.
We start off today, excuse me, with Ruby, who did a $2 super chat and said, "Hi. Hello, Ruby. How are you? Thank you for the super chat." Alex from Phoenix re-upped his membership for 2 months. He says, I got a silver crown now. Yes, you do. Thank you very much, Alex from Phoenix, for the 2 months of support. Zane has re-upped their membership for 14 months and says, that one gave me a good laugh. I don't know what Zane's referencing. Maybe me being coming out of the closet, perhaps. Phil's coming out of the closet marathon. A marathon of me coming out of the closet. Now that's something else. There you go. Guitar Player did a super chat and says, you should call it Phil's coming out of his shell stream. Oh, God. And we should watch the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles coming out of their shells.
Mia Word Order says, why do enlightened people call people twats or wankers an insult? Because twats and wanker hits harder, especially as a British person saying it. You know, it's like some insults just hit harder depending on the accent. You know? Like, it's just the way it goes. It's like Scottish, you know, it's not even just an English thing, like British people in general. Yeah, Americans can't really get away with saying arsehole, you know. But Americans are like, you're an asshole, you're an asshole. They say ass instead of arse. But in the UK, it is, you generally do not hear people say asshole. The British people know that you call someone an arsehole. You find someone like, hey, arsehole. Yeah, you don't fucking say asshole. You would get mocked in the UK if you called somebody an asshole, I think. It's like, you're a fucking tourist or something. Do you not know what an arse is? But some insults just hit harder depending on the accents. Wanker is not just an English thing. I mean, the fucking Scottish love using it as well. There's an insult we fucking love using. You know? Not really twat. We're not really, no. We reserve twat for pretentious people, I'd say, in Scotland. You know, like, twat's a term we might use for people that go to, like, you know, maybe some kind of university student who's a bit up himself, you know, like they think the fucking farts smell nice, you know, because they fucking study some weird abstract course in university. That kind of guy would be a twat. Some kind of wannabe upper class twat, you know. Did I mention the members stream? Yeah, BST mentioned it earlier on. He talked about the members goal and clearing the closet and all that shit. So yeah, Aussies love saying the Australians fucking. They're the brethren to the UK. I mean, they have some great insults as well, Australians. Australians know how to fucking play with their words. You know, I'd love to go to Australia one time. Ted Lasso made wanker popular. I've never actually seen Ted Lasso, but yeah, I've heard that, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, Phil's addressed the closet thing. He's like, if he hits 540 members, he'll lock in the goal about cleaning his closet, and he's going to call it something like Phil's coming out of the closet stream or whatever. He's had a joke about that, so yeah. Well, let's try and get a big. Are you Scottish or Irish? Technically I'm both. Mio World Order. I am Scottish mainly. I was born in Scotland, I've been raised in Scotland, but I am part Irish in blood. Like a quarter Irish. But I am mainly Scottish. So I consider myself Scottish. I don't consider myself Irish really. I mean, I'm a wee bit Irish in blood. And I do have appreciation of it, but I'm a Scotsman. I'm not going to be like Phil and pretend to be Italian just because my granny's granny was Italian or some pish like that, whatever the fuck it is. No, I'm a Scotsman. That's just the way it is. A wee bit of Irish in me. What's he going to do with his stuff from his closet? Give it away as prizes? Paula, no, he's not ever going to find ways to use it on his stream or get rid of it.
Money, money.
Oh, Meal World Order, thanks for the sub.
Money, money. Oh, money, money. Yeah.
Money, money. Fucking love that wee tune. Thank you for the sub, Meal World Order. Appreciate it. And we got to hear the money. Yeah, again. Everyone loves the money. Yeah. I've heard tosser with a D. Dosser. Yeah. Dosser's a weird one for sure. Yeah, everyone's got, I mean, what's the worst? The Scottish have their own kind of brand of insults. Like, we call people FUD sometimes, and not a lot of people know what that means, but it's fun to use on people and confuse them. At the end of each stream, he auctions off the item to the highest tipper. That would actually be a good idea, Chudgu. You know, I mean, there's potential here for Phil to actually do something good with his possessions, especially the ones he doesn't want anymore. But no, he's either going to chuck it out, or he's going to find a way to use it on his stream if he can monetize it. That's essentially what he's doing. But yeah, thank you for the sub, Mio World, I appreciate it. And we're way behind, so let's keep playing.
Tour documentary while I do it. No, we're not doing that. It's terrible. Thank you for the super chat. Ruby did another super chat and says you should call the event Phil finally lets his in-laws out of the closet for a cookout. I don't get that one. Excuse me. 672 did a super chat and says, Kevin, please come back. Malcolm forgives you. We all do. Shall I address this now to get out of the way? So for those who have no idea what this Kevin shit is about,
I've got to say, I've got no idea what this is about either. This is news to me as well. I've seen it. I've seen this chat. I have no idea what it's about. So this is news to me. Right? Okay.
Kevin Bernstein, the longtime viewer and supporter of this stream and this channel, okay. Basically, the other day when I was finishing Skyrim, I was in the finale of Skyrim, was talking with other chatters, and was talking with this particular supporter, Malcolm. And said to Malcolm, hey, I really want to see the Sonic hat happen tonight. And the Sonic hat had been set that if we hit the tip skull for the night, I was going to put on the Sonic the Hedgehog hat. So he says, if you basically contribute like $100 in tips, I'll match that. And then we'll hit the goals for the night. And then Phil will put on the Sonic hat. So Malcolm says, oh, okay. And he did a $100 tip. And then Kevin disappeared and hasn't come back since. Now, how do I feel about that? First of all, I didn't even see it happen. I was playing Skyrim. I was in the big Alduin finale fight, and I actually had screwed myself over by doing a dragon shout that wasn't Dragon Rend.
That is fantastic. I had no idea. I had no idea about that. That is incredible. I had absolutely no idea that happened. Oh, Kevin Bernstein, you sneaky little bastard. Oh, poor Mal, come on, he got fucking conned out of 100. I didn't get conned out of $100. Phil would have fucking got it from him one way or another. After all, it's Phil's money after all. But I had no idea this happened. Shouldn't the bingo chart have snorting or belching or sniffing? Meal World Order, the normal card used to have snort as a free space in the middle. I've stopped doing that recently because bingos have been too easy. Burp is actually a part of the options, but it's just not on this card right here. Sniffing, I've not really got, but I've got him blowing his nose. At least I used to have. Kevin's disappeared, he says, so it makes it sound like Kevin's not actually banned. He's just vanished. I cannot believe Kevin Bernstein tricked him, though. Kevin maybe couldn't find a company credit card. Yeah, he said that before, didn't he? Yeah, it was a strange one.
You can only hurt Alduin when you hit him with Dragon Rend, which I didn't remember. So here I am, waiting 10 minutes for the fucking thing to cool down, and it's not cooling down. I'm freaking out, and I'm trying to figure this out, and I keep looking at the chat, and everyone's arguing in the chat about this, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So I kind of zoned out from the chat.
Okay, I'm going to say everyone is saying is basically the same as everyone is arguing. I think that's a fair thing to do, isn't it? Everyone is arguing in the chat. Everyone is saying. It's basically the same damn thing. I think that's a fair thing to tick off. Would everyone agree? Can we all agree everyone is saying is a good thing to tick off for that thing? Yeah or no? Cool stuff. Everyone says yes, everyone's agreeing, cool stuff. But yeah, Phil used to actually give away empty game boxes. He'd sign his wee daft business card with Sonic, with him wearing a Sonic hat in it, and he would sign it, but he would keep the game so he could trade it in. That was it, because he would not give people the games, he would just give them the game boxes, but he would keep the game so he could trade it in to like GameStop or whatever, so he get some credits to get another game. Phil was such a cheap bastard, even in his most prominent and well-off money-making days. He was such a cheap motherfucker. He would not give fans games. He was like, yeah, here's a game box, but I can't give you the game. I need to get like my fucking $4 off my next game of GameStop, even though I'm making stupid money right now from this machinima contract I'm on. That's how the rich stay rich, I guess.
And focused on the game, and I eventually beat the game. And then I turned back to the chat, and basically everyone was upset with Kevin, with how this had gone down. Okay? So I'm like, I wasn't there live watching to see what happened. I don't know exactly what promises Kevin made. All I can know is what people have told me. And what they've told me is that, yeah, he totally was spearheading this support for the stream, telling Malcolm and egging him on, saying, yes, if you tip, I'll tip. And then he just purposely dipped afterward when the tip came in from Malcolm and never came back. Now, to give you my perspective on this.
Right, before I hear his perspective, here's what I think Phil should do. Phil should not really admonish Kevin for this at all. Thanks to Kevin, Phil got extra $100 that he might not have got. This is a win for Phil as it is. He can probably... So this is what I think. I'm not. This is news to me, guys. This is news to me happening. But this is what I think Phil should react to. Right? If I was Phil in a situation, I'd be like, you know, thank you, Malcolm, for the contribution and trying, but you really shouldn't let Kevin persuade you. You know, it's like you should do it because you want to yourself, not because someone in chat you can't really fully trust maybe made you that kind of deal. It should always be the viewer wanting to do it themselves and not being inspired by fucking faceless people in chat. You know what I mean? So that's my way that Phil. That's how I think Phil should react to this here, right? He should try and, you know, support Malcolm and saying, look, you know, thank you for your support, but don't let chat sway you. Just do it if you can and want to. Kevin, it's a shame you seem to trick somebody out of this, but whatever, it is what it is. So let's see how Phil actually reacts, okay? Let's see what it actually does.
You guys remember a few months ago when we caught out Kevin for taking credit for other people's tips, right? Like, people would tip anonymously or under a name that wasn't matching in the stream chat, and then Kevin would say things like, oh, yeah, that was me, I saved the stream tonight, and everyone would be like, oh, thanks, Kevin. And then I realized it wasn't him. And I called him out for it, and I was like, dude, that's not right to do that.
And of course, Phil knows this because whenever you tip him, Phil sees your information, your name and your email address. The thing that Phil has claimed that he doesn't have access to, he sees. And obviously, I get tips now as well. I mean, that being a content creator is actually had a couple of tips I can confirm. I see people's information. I see their email addresses and the names they use and all that shit. And yeah, I actually think the first couple of tips that I had it set up so it was like personal business account. No, it was a personal PayPal account and not a business account. So I actually think that people saw my own private information as well, possibly. But they actually saw my real name because it says personal, not business. So I made a complete arse of that. But it's on business too, my PayPal, you know what I mean? I actually changed it to business or whatever, so I think it's a bit safer at my end. So the first couple of people that tipped me actually may have got my personal information, so they might know my name. I don't know. But yeah, but Phil, this is what I'm saying, it goes against, so Phil publicly admitting, honestly, you know what I mean? I can see this information when people tip me, you're lying about you. Phil says he goes against his own narrative here just to catch out Kevin. But Kevin's actually got him money here. He's really admonishing Kevin here when he really shouldn't be. But thanks to Kevin, he's got an extra money from it, you know? So for Phil, this is a win. I don't understand why he's upset with Kevin.
You can't take credit for other people's contributions. Now they feel bad, and now, you know what I mean? That's completely wrong. And after basically being called out for it, he apologized for it. And
I'm surprised. I cannot believe it's happened. You guys knew Kevin was a troll. Tip equals docs. Yeah, essentially so, yeah. As I'm saying, like, I have a thing set up for people can tip me if they want, but unlike Phil, I don't care. If people only want to super chat me and never want to tip me, I'm fine with that. I'm perfectly accepting of that. I have both revenue options open because I've only recently got super chats enabled. Before that, the only time I could get people supporting me if they wanted to was tipping. But I've left it there because some people don't mind tipping or whatever if they want to tip. That's great, but I certainly don't. I don't have a preference, you know. If people want to support me in any way, I'm happy to receive it. I'm not dumb. You know, if people want to give me money, then thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it, you know, but I'm not going to be like Phil and say, please fucking give me this and give me that and all that shit. You know, fuck off. I'm not going to be that kind of guy. I'm back at work tomorrow. I've got a real job, you know. I'm going to work my normal job, you know, from starting from tomorrow. But this is my one day of rest. I totally see Phil blaming the dents. He knew he's a troll. I'm pretty sure Kevin is kind of a troll. He's a weird one though, because he's a troll, but he supports Phil financially, which is weird. You know, I don't like troll tipping. It's weird to me. It's bizarre. I think it's stupid to waste your money just to call Phil an idiot or whatever. You know, it's such a waste of money. You're not going to get that money back usually. We're still way behind.
Essentially, that was the end of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we never really talked about it again. We kind of just buried it and said whatever. And then this was months ago. So now, fast forward to, you know, the other night, and this happens. Now, some people have said to me, well, Phil, what are you going to do about it, Phil? This, you know, what do you mean, what am I going to do about it? What do you want me to do about it? You know? First of all, Kevin hasn't been back to answer for himself on what happened. He hasn't been able to defend himself or say a word about it because he hasn't returned to the streams. So, at the very least, you can't say a word about it, or I can't do anything about it until he's back. If he decides to come back and say something about it, that's different. But he hasn't been back. And without him coming back, there's nothing that can be done. I can't, you're like, oh, why don't you ban him? First of all, you can't ban someone on YouTube like that. It's not easy. There's no history to even find his account or whatever. Usually, if you want to ban someone, they have to be in the chat to do it. So I don't really have means to do that, even if I wanted to. And again, on top of that, I'm not going to go out of my way to track down Kevin and ban his fucking YouTube account when he's not in the chat. Like, that's stupid. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, no, I'm not going to go out of my way, and I'm not going to actively do anything in regards to this issue. If he comes back, obviously, yes, we're going to want to hear what he has to say for himself, because obviously it was pretty dishonest what he did. He basically convinced Malcolm that he was going to do something that he never did. Now, in the meantime, I have spoken with Malcolm, and we're cool. It wasn't like Malcolm's upset that he contributed to that stream, and then, you know, Kevin didn't match. I mean, is he upset? Yeah, Kevin lied, but at the same time, it's not like he was upset that he contributed. That was the whole intention. And by the way, I put the Sonic hat on that night, regardless of any goal being reached. I put it on anyway, you see?
What's the fucking point of a goal then? Phil has claimed so many times in the past that the whole point of a goal is to try and hit that goal, and he's not going to give people the reward if the goal is not met. That is the purpose of his goals. It's just so they can match those goals, hit those goals, so people can get the reward of what the target is. So Phil has gone back in his word for his dumbass Sonic hat. Did Phil hit $200 once, by the way, for the Sonic hat when I was going? Yeah, I'm genuinely curious. I don't actually know. I fucking haven't clued myself up on this. Did Phil hit $200 at any point whatsoever to wear that dumbass Sonic hat? I said I wasn't here. I'm not aware. I do know he lowered it to $100 at one point. I'm aware of that. Perhaps it's a stream he's talking about. The thing where he still put the fucking hat on anyway. Because Malcolm gave $100. I love that. I fucking love that. So Phil set a goal of $200 and it wasn't hit once. And he fucking felt so sorry for himself that he actually put the hat on anyway for $100. That's glorious. That's fucking glorious. The thing is, I'm actually agreeing with Phil in this case about not banning Kevin. Kevin's technically done nothing wrong. He's just, it's banter, you know? He's like, hey, by the way, if you do this thing well, and, you know, if you give this guy a lot of money, you know, I'll match it. And then he just dipped out, pieced out. But Phil's got money out of it. He doesn't need to do anything for it. There's no rules been broke. Kevin can just say it was just banter. He wore the hat and complained about wearing the hat. Of course he did. Fuck man. When you get through this, guys, I keep pausing.
So, anyway, so that's being said, we'll see what happens in the future. Kevin very well may never come back, and then it's not an issue anymore. Kevin could come back and say something that justifies what he did, he may come back and say something that doesn't justify what he did. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't really care. I'll be honest with you. I'm not one for drama. I don't really give a shit. If he does,
excuse the fuck out of me. Excuse the fuck out of me.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not one for drama. I don't really give a shit.
He's not one for drama. Oh my fucking god, where do you begin with this motherfucker? Where do you fucking begin? He's not one for drama. Thanks to one singular person called Keemstar, he's seen his entire background change in decoration. He's renamed his podcast of pre-stream to the Level 1 podcast. He's dedicated entire segments to talking about trolls and Keemstar in general. He's not one for drama. This man thrives off drama. This man stays alive and relevant through drama. If there was no drama, there'd be no DSP. He needs the drama to maintain his barely online existence. Voice crack after a laugh, by the way. Let's see.
Happen. I don't really care. I'll be honest with you. I'm not one for drama. I don't really give a shit. I don't really care. That justifies what he did. He may come back and say something that doesn't justify what he did. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't really care. I'll be honest with you. I'm not one for drama.
It's a bit of a voice crack. Yeah, it's a wee bit of a voice crack. We'll let the chat decide. Is this a voice crack? Proper voice crack? Invalid bigotivity, hello to you. We're doing okay. Yeah, we're well behind. We keep pausing. Well, I say we keep pausing. My dumb ass keeps pausing because I feel like ranting at this piece of shit, Phil. It was a laugh. It sounded really weird. People are saying yes to a voice crack. It was actually like a voice crack. You could hear his voice crack. Even though it's a laugh, it did crack. So I think we're ticking voice crack. More of a nervous fake chuckle. I still think there's a crack to it though. I'm going to tick it, I think. Where are you? There you are. There we go. Voice crack. We might not get a bingo tonight, guys, which is weird. Double call.
Drama. I don't really give a shit. If he does come back, we're going to try to squash it pretty quick because I don't want to have drama on my streams. I just want to enjoy myself and chill with you guys. You know me. You guys have been talking about this endlessly for like a week. I don't give a shit. To me, it's already done. I don't give a fuck. Oh, people are like, oh, Kevin owes you $100. Kevin doesn't owe me anything. He didn't fucking owe me $1. If he comes to the stream, great. If he doesn't, great. If he comes and he supports the stream, great. If he doesn't, great. I don't care. I just don't care. I'm so past drama shit like this. I don't give a fuck. Okay? Okay. All right. Let's continue on. Kyle did a super chat saying I would pay. I have no idea what that means, but thank you, Kyle, for the super chat. Abdullah has re-upped his membership for 5 months. Thank you, Abdullah. And he says, here's a game in PS Plus, The Messenger. I hope you. Oh, I'm rereading this. Here's a game that's on PS Plus, The Messenger. Then he was saying something else. I hope you, but it got cut off. The Messenger? I wonder what kind of game that is. I don't think we highlighted it or really looked into it. But you're saying it's on PS Plus? All right, thank you for re-upping your membership, by the way, Abdullah. I appreciate that. And then the latest super chatter is TJ Behemoth. He says, America doesn't deserve a birthday party this year. Well, there you go. America, you're ground.
So Invalid Bigotivity says, so Cult of Hate got axed, yeah. I was actually talking to him earlier on about that, you know, like it happened when I was away. Yeah, I've suggested to them, to me, from my perspective, it's the ones that are clipping Raw's, you know, stuff raw, you know, like, so there's no interruption of someone else talking about it or whatever, or putting, but the thing is that I feel like it's like these, it's hard for me to kind of say what the problem is without making it sound like I'm having a go, because I'm not having a go. I do greatly appreciate the stuff that Cult of Hate does, Hate Army Watch does, you know, but to me, I thought it wasn't transformative enough, which is why his stuff gets targeted, and Aquatiel got targeted as well. But when I was talking to Hate Army Watch earlier on, he thinks what he does is transformative enough because he's thrown in Phil's chat as well. He's zoomed in a bit on Phil's face, and he's also got the stuff playing before and after the clip, you know. You got the music playing, whatever, you got the wee animation going. But yeah, I suggested to Hate Army Watch to maybe have audio only with screenshots from the clip he's got as a potential way to avoid getting Superhound going after him. I don't know if it would work that's a thing, but I also I don't like seeing fellow detractor channels get unfairly shut down. You know, it's something I don't like seeing. It's not fair for it to happen in general. But I'm sure. I think that Azermain he's also had his channel shut down. He had to get a new. I think he had to get a new channel made. He's got another channel made. So Aquateal, Cult of Hate, Azermain, their channel's been hit by unfair strikes from Superhound just because these people clip DSP stuff and share it with the community. They filter out all the fucking 5 hours of crap just to provide you like a clip that's maybe a few minutes long, and they get struck for it. I think it's unfair. You just need to find a way to tell them to sue you, but not dox yourself. I don't know, it's a weird one, man. That's what I'm saying, I've not been struck by anything, thankfully, and I think it's because I do blever over the clips usually. I'm not one to usually just encode like a raw clip and nothing else. You know, I usually do blever over it, which I think maybe makes it so transformative that Superhound doesn't go for it. Maybe I'm so fucking small time that Superhound doesn't even bother going after someone like me. I don't know. I don't understand his fucking thought process. But to me, the ones that are always getting struck are the guys that are doing like the raw clipping. I don't see Raven's Dolphin getting struck by Superhound. I'm not sure if someone's actually tried to go after him, for example. But he has fucking things where he clips DSP stuff, but he's always reacting to it as well. Duty did do raw clips as well, I believe, and I think that may be why he did. Yeah, I think Duty did delete his videos because he was getting targeted too. There is legal precedent that clips and titles would be transformative. So yeah, I don't know. All I know is I try my best to fucking just make my stuff transformative if I can, personally. Like, and there might be different interpretations of that, but if I'm sharing a film clip, I usually put my own thoughts into it as well, as to why, I give my opinion on why Phil's being a jackass for that particular thing I'm talking about, so. Yeah, it sucks that Hey Army Watch got struck, Call of Hate, and it's crap that Aquateal got struck as well, but I think they're back now, Aquateal. I think they got a new account, Aquateal, with one video so far, which is the Keemstar clip, actually, ironically. So they clipped Keemstar and they kind of said, this is just for posterity, I'm not advertising it. You kind of had a face jiggle, okay.
Found it. TJ Behemoth is very upset with you. I can't type TJ Behemoth for some reason. TJ Behemoth is very upset with you, America. Oh, Abdullah in the stream chat says, I hope you'll try it. I couldn't continue because of the limit. It's an indie game that plays like Ninja Gaiden on the NES. Oh, I see. Wait a minute. It says you just re-upped your membership, but in the chat it doesn't show that you're a member. What happened? Is it a glitch? I think it is, because it says you re-upped your membership for 5 months, but then it doesn't show you as a member in the chat. That's weird. I've never seen that happen before. I wonder if there's a weird glitch going on. What the hell? Do you have access to all of your perks, Abdullah? Like, can you see do you see the emo?
What a strange fucking random tangent he just goes in. Paulette Barton says Detractor should get a backup channel just in case. The thing is, I've had this channel for so long. I've had this channel for like since 2012. I used to make fucking dumbass FIFA gameplay videos, not shit, back in the day. And it's one of those things where this channel is not just a detractor. I've only recently been kind of making DSP stuff, right? But before that, I was doing other stuff for this channel. I've got a lot of history with this channel. I wouldn't want to lose it. Would I potentially dox myself to try and keep it? It's tempting. I mean, I don't know. It's like, if the guy wants to sue me, I might just force his fucking hand. I'll see what he wants to do. I know, obviously, it's a case of he'd probably drop it, but he may have my details, so I don't know if I'm going to do about that. The membership crowns are going okay. Permanently. It's a weird one, man. I personally think that the stuff I do, I think, is above. It can't be targeted because I think it is too transformative. for him to go after. Even these fucking restreams. We're playing a game of bingo, guys. Also, it involves Phil's fucking stream, but we're fucking, it's not live either. I keep pausing it and think sometimes I try and let the whole thing go live, but there are times as well where we fucking pause and we're catching up, not shit, and it's not. That's what I'm saying. I think this is very transformative to the point where it's not worth going after, and we're having fun with it, not shit. But I don't monetize. Every single video I do is unmonetized. I don't enable ads in any videos. Not even doing memberships either. The only thing that, if people want to give me money, they can, but I'm not making money on the videos themselves or live streams themselves. The only way I get money from doing this stuff is if you guys want to give me money. That's literally the only possible way I get anything from this financially. So it's not as if I'm fucking earning ad revenue off fucking the videos either. That's not happening. No, I consider what I do fair use and transformative just because we're making a game out of this, for example, and if I'm making a video about and reacting to something he said, obviously I'm adding my own damn commentary to it, and I'm adding my own reasoning and logic to it. You know, I'm fucking putting forward my own arguments and showing examples of why Phil's the dumbass for that thing. I don't know. Phil's an annoying piece of shit. But some of his fucking fans, and Superhound is a weird one because I don't even know I don't even think Superhound likes Phil. It's weird. And yet he goes after it's fucking weird, man. Something makes me think that Phil was paying Superhound to do this. Like, it's weird because obviously remember Superhound kind of went after Phil at first and got after his like Twitter header or something. Like Phil couldn't even use his own picture on his Twitter because Superhound claimed it as copyright. And then after that, not long after that, things seemed to calm down for Phil, and Superhound turned up the heat on the detractors. It's just such a weird thing. Part of me just feels like Phil made an agreement in the background with a Superhound guy to like say like, I'm not going to go after anyone, but if you want to go after all these damn trolls, I'll give you X amount for doing this. And obviously it's like Phil can't dox himself anymore because obviously people know his details already, so if there's nothing left to dox on Phil essentially, at least not much more. Get a PO box in case anything happens. I don't know. It's one of those things, if I get copyright strikes against me, I don't know, I might just scrap. I might just nuke those. If his videos are getting claimed, I might just, get rid of the videos. I don't know. We'll see. But we need to keep playing.
Notes and everything. This is weird. I've certainly never seen that before. TJ Behemoth just became a member at the super supporter level. Thank you, TJ Behemoth, for the super level of support. I appreciate that. Awesome. Okay. Anyway, let's switch over to the tip side of things now, because I have tips to shout out. First tip of the day is from Uzi Gohard, who took $1.50 and says, I just got off work. I'm on level 9. I decided to swing by level 1 and check on you. Cool. How is that going on level 9? Level 9's that annoying one. That's the one where there's the weather effect. So you're trying to jump, but the wind keeps pushing you back in the middle of your jump, and you get pushed off the cliff for a cheap instant death. I hate that level. That's why I like chilling here on level 1. On level 1, everything's nice and easy, man. The enemies, your blade, it just goes right through them like butter. Just insta-kill. You're just beheading enemies left and right. That's where you get the cool shuriken you're tossing, and you kill them all instantly. Level 1's where it's at, man. You can't be on level 9. Fuck that shit. You gotta want to be on level 1. Very nice. Let's continue on. Chuckles the Hut has tipped $4.20 and says, rest in peace to your cell, sir. That's right, that exploded all over me this morning. Ready for some good times with Final Fantasy VII. Sounds good. Me too. I'm excited to finally be playing the original game and see what we think about it. I mean, I'm excited to see what I think about it after all these years playing the original. It's been so long since I played it that I'm curious, will my opinion have changed? Right? I guess we'll find out. My nose itches. Snowcrawl to $1.50. Saying, you always mention you drink seltzer water or other carbonated drinks. I'm curious, do you ever drink just regular plain water? Yeah, it's right here. This is filtered water, pure, P-U-R, that I drink from my thermos. You should be careful about carbonation. It's harmful for teeth and the tummy. What? You think carbonation is harmful for your teeth? Really? This is the first time I've heard that drinking seltzer water could hurt your stomach. Your teeth. In fact, I've heard the opposite. Seltzer water helps settle your stomach. If you have an upset stomach and you drink like ginger ale or carbonated water, it actually helps. So, I don't know. Anyway, thank you, Snow Carl. All right. Anzo Kamaru to the $1.50 says, I think you should say there's nothing coming out that I care about rather than it's a dead month or there are no games coming out. There's tons of great games releasing all the time you ignore or have no interest in. No hate, such a suggestion. I just said that. When I was saying about July, I said there's literally only 2 games that I have interest in, Stray and As Dusk Falls, and that's it. I'm not really interested in anything else. I know there's always constant games coming out. A lot of indie titles, mobile games.
All right, mid-burp. I actually paused at mid-burp. But that's what I'm saying. No, that's the whole point is that he should stop saying it's a dead month when it's not really a dead month. It's just a month where there's nothing he cares about. That was the whole point of the tip. And Phil was trying to say, oh, no, that's what I said. But no, Phil actually did say a dead month. He said July and the special August. He said these are dead months for games. That's his words. And the guy's saying don't use that term because it's just a month. It's just months where there's games coming out you don't care about. Which is... That's the point the guy's making. And Phil's trying to say, no, I didn't say that, when he did. Phil's not allowed to be wrong, remember. He's never allowed to be wrong.
You know, things on PlayStation Plus and Game Pass, but for the most part, I look at the game release schedule, I'm just not interested in many or any games coming out in the month of July. So outside of the 2 that I mentioned, everything else will be Final Fantasy VII, the Viewer's Choice playthrough, Capcom Fighting Collection, likely some other chill playthroughs like I've already suggested, like Super Mario 2. Or maybe we'll jump into one of these games over here from PS Plus Premium, like MotorStorm Apocalypse, or something else. You know, we'll think about it, okay? Awesome. All right. Voland tipped $5 and says, hey, Phil, since you mentioned Spoonie, can you imagine doing a DSP Reacts for the Down the Rabbit Hole about him? This was something that I originally suggested, 2 months ago when I announced that I was going to start doing React style content. I had mentioned that I was a fan of Spoonie and his content on the internet, 15 years ago. Basically, when I was watching things like the Angry Video Game Nerd and the Nostalgia Critic, Spoonie was one of that group, that guy with the glasses.com, that not only was putting out his own content, but was a frequent cooperative guy. He would always be in other people's videos as a character. He actually showed up many times in the Nostalgia Critics videos as a character. Whenever they did their big crossover movie events, he was a major character. So I basically knew of him and had watched a bunch of his shit as being part of that, you see. And then, essentially when I stopped watching that content, I didn't watch AVGN anymore. I didn't watch that guy with the glasses anymore because I started being my own content creator. Around 2010 is when I completely just cold turkey quit watching anything that they were putting out. And instead I focused full time on being my own guy, my own content creator, you see. So I didn't know anything about those guys anymore. And then over the years I had heard that I guess Spoonie had been canceled, that he had essentially got unhinged and said really disgusting, sexist and sexual things about someone on the internet who I don't even know who they are. And basically it blew up in his face and everyone turned on the guy and said we want nothing to do with this fucking guy because he was doubling down on the shit he was saying and stuff or something. I don't know, but that's all I've heard. I don't know the truth of it because I never investigated. I haven't tried to catch up with any of that stuff. Admittedly, it would probably be a daunting task to try to get caught up with, over 10 years of missed content. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, anyway, that's about all I know. Anyway, yeah, so there is a Down the Rabbit Hole video about Spoonie, or the Spoonie Experiment, which is what he used to call his site, that I guess covers him as a person and a content creator. I've never seen it, so I don't know what it entails, but that was one of the things that I considered I would one day react to. Originally, I had that as an option, and people weren't very interested. They were like, nah, don't really care. But maybe now, you know, moving forward, people would be interested. I don't know. Okay, and then Jackson, top tipper of the day, a $10 tip. He says, if everyone tips $1 right now, you have to put on all your stuff immediately. I mean, you're right. As you guys know, we have tips calls on this stream. If we raise $50 in tips, I put on Gunner glasses. If we raise $100 in tips, there's a poll, and you guys will pick a hat for me to wear. You know, very silly options like a Pikachu hat, the beanie, right? The cowboy hat. You know, we'll have a few different options there. And then if we hit $150 in tips, then I have to wear a vest, and you guys will pick a vest. I would say tonight would probably be platinum, gold, red, camo, or denim. We'll have to figure it out. But anyway, yes, those are the goals, all right, for tips. And he's absolutely right, Jackson. If everyone tipped $1 right now, I'd have $467. And that would help a lot. I'd be very pleased and happy because that would help me out. It would. I don't expect to make $467 on today's stream. Just being fair, I don't think that's going to happen. It'd be nice if it did, but I'm not expecting that to happen. Okay?
Can we rewind that word in there? I don't expect to make $460 on stream. I'm just being fair. Did you just say I'm just being fair?
I don't expect to make $467 on today's stream. Just being fair.
I'm just being fair. Oh, so he doesn't expect that money, but he thinks it'd be fair for him to get $467 on stream. He doesn't expect it, but it'd be fair if he did. And that is his words in his mind. He thinks it'd be fair if he got $467 on stream. I don't even know how many viewers I've got. I can't make the same comparison. I'm on OBS, I don't know how many people I've got watching right now. If everyone gave me money, then I'd have more money. Yeah, man. It's such a weird... I love how excited he got to try and push this guy's fucking tip point forward. Like, yeah, if everyone contributes, I'd have more money. And I really need that money because I want to buy things. Oh, Christ, man, it's so funny. But Phil, this is a good fucking stream for Phil. This is over $20 in tips he's got from the pre-stream.
I don't think that's going to happen. It'd be nice if it did, but I'm not expecting that to happen. Okay? Okay. I need to blow my nose quickly because it's really bothering me. And then we're going to do a little bit of Q&A to end the pre-stream.
No, Dashy, please don't. No, don't. Nah, I'm full up for my day. That was my one kind of, that was a big treat for myself and my fiance having a Domino's, but no. No. You hold on to that pound. Thank you, Dashy. But yeah, I just can't believe he's desperately just trying to. He's always so fucking desperate for his fucking tips, man. It's unreal. He's obviously if he gets super chats now, I don't know when the cutoff is for him to get super chat money. Like, I know he gets paid by YouTube on the 21st of each month, right? I understand that. But I don't know when the cutoff is for him. Does he get super chats? If somebody gives him like a $500 super chat now, does he get that on the 21st, or does he have to wait until next month to get that? How much is coffee in Scotland? It depends where you go. Personally, I'm not much of a coffee drinker, but if I'm getting something from anywhere, I like going to Cafe Nero, and I like getting specialty caramel latte, which is one of the only things I can manage. I don't want to taste a coffee, but I can manage that. And I think that's like £5 or something. So I can't mind how much a caramel latte is from Cafe Nero. It's been a while since I've had one. How much is Iron Brew? Well, first of all, Dashy spelt it wrong. You don't include the O in Iron Brew. It's IRNBRU. The national Scottish drink. You mean outside of whiskey and Buckfast? Aye, the Iron Brew. I love how I think there's an old graph, right, where it's like the most popular soft drink around the world, and it's Coca-Cola for almost every single nation, and then Scotland it's Iron Brew. Iron Brew is more popular than Coca-Cola. Well, it used to be more popular. I don't think it is more popular anymore. But Iron Brew used to be more popular. What I love is trying to get foreigners to taste Iron Brew. It's hard to describe the taste of Iron Brew, you know? Because it's like, it's a sweet kind of taste, you know? It's a strange taste, but it's sweet, you know? And it's definitely different. Better go over in the tip school that everyone knows and the ones that you can't say anything. I'm reading chat here. That's about good coffee here. I can get a coffee at White Castle for $1. It's not great, but I'll wake you up. Yeah, I mean, Greg's apparently as well. You know, I've got a Greg's near me that do coffees, but I've never dared to try one because, I mean, I'm not going to go to fucking Greg's for coffee. I'm going to go there for my fucking sausage rolls and steak bakes or fucking breakfast rolls. I'm not going to fucking Greg's for fucking coffee. You got goddamn mind. It's like fucking going to Asda for fucking, you know, clothes. That's actually a lie. I do actually go to the clothes section in Asda sometimes. George did have some nice shirts. I'm not going to lie. Can't get away with that. Dashi says you're not Scottish. That's a good point. You're not Scottish. You are English, but we'll forgive you for that. You cannot help it. Dashi, actually, aren't you Welsh, Dashi? Am I misremembering? I know it doesn't really necessarily matter in the grand scheme of things, but I just don't want to offend you by calling you English if you're Welsh. Born in Wales, that's what it was. Okay, that's what it was. Right, guys, we've been going for over 3 hours. God damn, I'm making up for lost time, I guess.
Show here today, the Level 1 podcast.
Where the fuck did Phil go? Oh, he's blown his nose. That's right, he's blown his nose.
Ugh. Ugh.
We've not won bingo yet, guys. We've not actually won any lines in bingo. We've not won a thing. Usually we've got a line or two by now. This is crazy.
Oh. Oh my god. Okay. Sorry about that. An entire gremlin came out of my left nostril. It was Spike, you know, with the mohawk. To beat the shit out of him. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, for 10 minutes, let's open up the Q&A. If you'd like to ask me a question, please tag me in the stream chat, and I will do my best to answer your questions and inquiries. By the way, already 101 likes on the stream. Thank you guys for that. I really appreciate that. 101 likes. We've hit our likes goal, and that means people will be engaged and come check out the stream today, hopefully. Excellent. When will I be playing Maneater? I have no idea. I have no plans to play it right now. Jankuma says, you should play Bravely Default. I know all about it. I also know it's incredibly lengthy. I'm more interested in other RPGs at this time, so it's not going to happen anytime soon. Mando, re-upped his membership at the super supporter level for 12 months. So do you like breakfast sausage or bacon more? I guess it depends. It really depends. And it also depends on how I'm having it. Like, if I'm having it by itself, both can be quite tasty. As a compliment, like, I think if I were to choose eating it by itself, sausage, but bacon is good as an ingredient in things. I don't know. I like them both. Shout out to the Cowboy, 1983, who took me $1.50. Says, hello, Cowboy. I'm wondering which Harry Potter game you'd be willing to play. I'd recommend playing Prisoner of Azkaban and the Half-Blood Prince on 360. Hope you will also consider playing the original 3 Spider-Man games. Persona 4 Golden or Persona 3 Portable. I never played Persona 3 Portable, and I also never played Persona 4 Golden. I played both of the original games on PS2. But if I had to replay them, I'd probably play Persona 4 again. Persona 3 had a lot of outdated mechanics I didn't really like, and the final boss is the most annoying, boring thing ever. Persona 4 is a better game, in my opinion. As for Harry Potter, I'm not against playing Harry Potter games. If people really wanted to see them, especially if they're on Game Pass, right? That would be excellent. I don't know if they are, but I'd be down for that if you guys ever wanted it. Have I ever had halal meat? I have no idea, Umar. I honestly can't answer that. I don't know. Lemoncast says, are Rich and I on good terms now? We were never on bad terms. I swear to God, the internet wants to orchestrate drama. When were Rich and I on bad terms?
I'm pretty sure he's kind of dissed him before, Phil. Phil was openly mocked him before, I'm sure.
I don't remember that. I don't remember us going at each other's throats and constantly attacking each other and being nasty to each other. I don't think it's ever happened. I don't know. Jeez. James says, did I ever have the strategy guide for Final Fantasy VII, the Prima one? I might have. I very well might have. I don't know. At this point, I can't confirm I don't have it anymore, but I might have had it. Back in the day, for RPGs, I usually did try to buy a strategy guide. If I play Final Fantasy XIV, the stream will blow up. I don't believe that, Jern Beck, but thanks for the opinion.
I like that guy confirms that Phil's always been a fucking idiot when it comes to games and trying to figure things out. Like, it's not just a case of his, like, gin-addled brain destroying brain cells because of alcohol for years that he can't figure things out. No, he's always been a dumbass piece of shit who doesn't know how to play games unless he's either got a strategy guide or stream chat holding his damn hand. He's always been a fucking moron. It's never been a gradual process. This is not alcohol killing brain cells. Phil is just a naturally born dumbass.
Excuse me. Would I be open to playing Final Fantasy XIV? It's primarily single player. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I don't. I know it's an MMO style game. I never played it, man. Yes, I did love TMNT Shredder's Revenge. Just a shame that for the kind of game it is, it's so short. But I did like it a lot. After Final Fantasy VII, will I play Dirge of Cerberus? I don't know anything about Dirge of Cerberus. I can't answer that. I don't even know what it is. Spin-off game? Do I still have my PS3? I do, but it doesn't connect to the internet. That's the problem. It doesn't work. It bricked itself. There was an update in late December, early January. I forget when. And I plugged it in because I wanted to maybe play some retro games on it. And I turned it on and said, oh, there's a required console update. So I downloaded the update off the internet. And as soon as I loaded it on the console, it doesn't connect to the PSN anymore. It's blocked. I have no idea why. It just doesn't work. It just has its error code that pops up. It basically bricked itself when it comes to the internet. I can still play discs on it, but that's it. I can't connect to the internet with it. Well, I played Call of Duty this year. I don't know. I'm waiting for the beta. I want to play the beta of Call of Duty. Once I play the beta, I'll make a judgment. Just like I did with Vanguard last year. Is there a possibility I'll play it? Yes. Am I locking into it and confirming and committing? No. I want to see how the beta plays and then we'll make a decision. Do I still want to play Lost Odyssey? Yes, one day I do. However, right now, I definitely feel like Final Fantasy VII makes sense to prepare for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth next year. I'm craving playing Earthbound. Like, these are things that I want to do now. While Lost Odyssey, there really is no time limit on it, you see? Am I experiencing retro burnout? No, and here's why. Because I'm playing so much different retro stuff. We got retro fighting games, we got retro platformers, now we're hitting into retro RPGs. Because I'm doing a variety of retro stuff, it's keeping me excited. If we had played Mario Brothers 1, Mario Brothers 2, Mario Brothers 3, Super Mario World, Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island, see? Then I would have gotten bored. At least in the Castlevania collection and the Sonic collection, the games are short enough that you don't feel that burnout because within a week or two you're done. You've played all the games in the series, you see? So, actually not at all. I'm having a great time right now. I am. I'm having a really good time, and I hope you guys are too with all the stuff I'm doing.
Niall.
Am I going to use my green screen or Stream Deck? I don't have a green screen. The green screen's been gone for years. It broke at one point in my garage, and I threw it out. All right? I don't have a green screen that would work for the office, and I can't do a green screen. As you know, even if I try to do a high-quality webcam on my stream, the frame rate dips. I can't do anything new with my current setup. If and when I'm able to get a better setup, and I upgrade my webcam, and I upgrade my computer, then I'll consider a green screen. As for my Steam Deck, no, I'm not using, Stream Deck, no, I'm not using that either, because that requires me to upgrade my Windows, which I'm not going to do. This PC is outdated. I don't want to start upgrading Windows and shit on it. I don't leave it as is, so it works. When I get a new PC, an upgraded setup, then I can start using Stream Deck with the new one, and I will.
I just want to remind everyone that a fan generously donated that Stream Deck to him, and his stubbornness to not update working past Windows 8. I mean, I feel so sorry for that fan, I really do. But then again, They probably deserve it. They're a fucking idiot for giving Phil something like that when he's not going to use a goddamn thing. That's the thing. He could easily gift that to someone if he wanted to. He's not going to use it. Why is he going to? He's not going to use it. He's going to try and stick to Windows 8 as long as possible. So why the fuck's he holding on to it? It makes no fucking sense. He's hoping, obviously, that some genuine dumbass rich fan is going to fund the entirety of his upgrade, which would include fucking him. He wants one or fucking several people to also fund in thousands of dollars so he can get a fucking far more expensive computer that can run everything perfectly. And it means he can be able to use a Stream Deck as well with it. And Jesus Christ, man, he's such a fucking greedy, lazy bastard, man. He doesn't want to invest in his own damn business. It's up to the fans to invest for him. Look, man, the only reason I can do these streams now is because I invested my own money, to get myself a computer. You know, I got myself an upgraded computer. I got myself a better computer. I can play games and now. I can stream myself playing games as well if I want to. I'm enjoying playing like GTA 5, for example, with the Chaos mod. Can we go 1.5 speed? Sure, we can. Well, not with me, sadly. But yeah, we can.
I'll program it to do things with the buttons.
He needs to invest more, though, Phil, in his own business and not rely on the fans.
Jake Kuma says, what do we want to donate a PS3? I know this sounds ridiculous. It would be great to see you play games that are locked to the PS3 like Chrono Trigger, Mega Man Legends, Tokyo Jungle. Yeah, I mean, if anyone ever wants to donate anything, you contact me. darksidephil@hotmail.com. We'll talk about it behind the scenes. We'll figure it out. Okay, don't just send me something. I'll tell you right now, if you just send me something, I don't know what it is. Here's what happens. It arrives, and it's a trash can, and it goes right in the trash can. Because I just can't, sadly, I just can't trust people to send me shit that's not going to be harmful. I've had people send me some really nasty, harmful things in the past, and I just can't. So anything that comes, I don't know what it is. It literally goes straight into the trash, and I never open it. But if you let me know ahead of time, and we talk about it, and I confirm what it is, then we can figure it out. Would I agree Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of the best narrative games in history? Yes.
This is way too fast, Ashy. I'm going to go 1.25.
Jade says, is this your first Final Fantasy stream? I don't know the history. This is, yeah, we didn't start playing this yet, Jade. This is the premiere of this game. There's not much to say. It's the first PlayStation Final Fantasy, and they tried to do something different with the series from the ones on SNES, and you'll see firsthand today as we start what that entails. Romy Rosie, you ever tried Xbox Cloud? How does it compare to PS5 streaming games? I have not tried it. I didn't try it. Nope. The thing is, on Xbox, you don't have to stream the games. You can download them on Game Pass, you know. On PlayStation, you have to stream the PS3 games. So, I haven't tried the Xbox because there's no point. I'm just going to download the game, and that way there's no chance of issues, you see? Will I play Reunion, Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII in December? It's a maybe for me. I played Crisis Core on the PSP back in the day. In fact, it was my favorite game on PSP when I owned one. I really liked the game, although the thing that gets me about this remake is that the game was very grindy, and I remember a lot of times you had to do a lot of repetitive combat to level up in order to progress in the game, and I'm wondering how that's going to translate into a console game. You know, portable, the whole point is, oh, you play it on the go. You're on a train, a plane, a bus. You're killing time with this portable, so the grinding is okay. Console, I don't know how it's going to translate. But maybe I'm misremembering it. I don't remember.
We might not get bingo today. At all.
Expand Dog found a secret phase in the dogfight boss of Cuphead where the screen will never turn upside down. It makes the fight easier, but there's a secret way to do it, and I'll never guess it. Well, I already beat the DLC, so you're right. I never will. Thank you. There you go. Yes, Seabass, you can have a taco. Would I ever do a second playthrough of Fallout 4? Yes, and I can confirm I will do it one day on the Xbox Series X at an increased frame rate and better graphics. I will do that. Gecko says, I remember you said you don't like driving on the highway. Doesn't that make your trips much longer? No, because here's why. In the 8 years I have lived in Washington State, I have not once driven on the highway here because everything that I would ever want to do is within regular driving distance. If I want to go to Seattle right now, it's about 30 to 45 minutes on a regular road. Yeah. Alex from Phoenix did a super chat. He says, I think Stream Element is screwing you over. When I log in to tip, the tip button is disabled. What gives? This is a common glitch with Stream Elements. You log in, if the button's grayed out, click on the tips link again, and refresh, and then it'll work. This is something that's been happening for almost a year now. I don't know why. No one can explain it. It doesn't happen for everyone, but it does happen for a lot of people. And when you do that, it fixes it.
Oh, we got something. It's not a bingo yet, but he said no one can explain it. He said no one. So there we go. If he leans in, bans somebody, that's a bingo. If he has a face jiggle, that's a bingo. If he says the word shock, that's a bingo. But this is a struggle. I'm surprised how much I struggle is today trying to get bingo.
And then you can tip. Thank you for the super chat. Okay.
Oh shit, did I miss a Y pose? Was it here?
Expand Dong found a secret phase. He confirmed I will do it one day on the Xbox Series. He says, I remember you said you don't like driving on the highway. Not once driven on now. It's about 30 to... Alex for Phoenix did a super glitch with stream elements. You log in, if the button's grayed out, click on the tips link again and refresh, and then it'll work. This is something that's been happening for almost a year now. I don't know why. No one can explain it. It doesn't happen forever.
Oh, was it that? Was it that YPOS?
With stream elements. You log in, if the button's grayed out, click on the tips link again and refresh, and then it'll work. This is something that's been happening for almost a year now.
Was it that? I will let the chat decide. This is the Y pose you're talking about. Is this a Y pose, guys? To me, I think of a Y pose as him having the arms completely outstretched. Lean and ban with 2 bingos, that's a good point actually. With double bingo, you got lean and ban. Is this a Y pose?
I don't know why. No one can explain it. It doesn't happen for everyone, but it does happen for a lot of people. And when you do that, it fixes it, and then you can tip. Thank you for the super chat.
I don't know if it is. It's a W pose, isn't it? Yeah. I'm not going to include it, guys. I'm not going to include it.
Okay. How long is this game? I think base game is 40 hours. And then if you do all the content, it's like 80 hours. But the content is very grindy, and I don't know if I'm going to do it. When I say content, I mean there's some hidden bosses and dungeons. And then also, there is a whole chocobo racing league at the amusement park. And if you train your chocobos and win all the races, you get and breed them, you get the golden chocobo. And the reason you need it is because the golden chocobo flies, and you can fly the chocobo to a hidden island where you get the best attack in the game called Knights of the Round. And you need Knights of the Round to defeat the hidden super bosses of the game. But I don't know if I'm going to bother with that. They take, I mean, I'm not kidding. To do all that shit is like an additional 20 plus hours of gameplay. That's not very fun. I did it once, and I was like, wow, I did it. I've seen everything in the game. But it's very grindy and kind of like, again, you're using the game to kill time, then it's all right. But if you're actually trying to make entertaining content, it's not very entertaining. So I don't know if we're going to do that.
We might not get bingo.
Yes, Knights of the Round is the coolest animation in Final Fantasy VII. It's insane.
There's still time. There's still time.
Okay. When the little puppies are shooting at you, you have to weaken all 4, but don't kill them. If you do that, it jumps to phase where they and the girl dog throw slow-moving pineapples. Oh. Interesting. All right, guys. Let's end the Level 1 podcast for today. I hope you enjoyed it.
It's not over yet, guys. Don't worry. It's not over yet. The fucking bingo ends when he begins recording for gameplay. That's my rule. I've stuck to this rule for the longest time. Until he actually begins recording for gameplay for the actual game he's out to play, it's all fair game. So let's keep playing bingo. Maybe we'll get something right out of death here.
All right, let's take a brief break. I'm going to use the restroom, and then we're going to jump into Final Fantasy VII, all right? Awesome. Thank you. Great pre-stream today. Had a good podcast with all of you. It was enjoyable, and thank you for the support as well. And now let's get the show on the road. Here we go. All right. Now, one thing that I want to try to do, I don't know how it's going to work, though, okay? Someone made me a little bit of fan art. Where see the fan art here? Hold on. Let me change my webcam. I want to show you what I mean. So this game is not widescreen. When they remade it on PS4, but it's still the 4:3 aspect ratio that used to be on PS1. So because of that, I knew that I was going to have a lot of empty space. A fan made this artwork to put on the side of the screen, and then what I was going to do was put the gameplay kind of skewed to the left. All right, so you'll see to the left of the screen here will be the game, and then on the right you'll see my webcam and this little artwork here. But I want to see what happens. What we have to do is boot the game up and get the aspect ratio going, and then I might move the footage over a little bit to get it to be fit there, you see? We got to boot the game to do that. Anyway, let's take a small break. All right, it'll be just a few minutes for me to go use the restroom, and I'll be back momentarily with the premiere of Final Fantasy VII. All right, guys? Thank you very much. I will see you in just a few minutes. I won't even run an ad. Fuck it. I make nothing on the ads on streams anyway. I'll just mute the mic and go use the bathroom and come right back. How does that sound? Fuck it. All right. I'll be right back, everyone. See you in a sec, and then we'll get started.
Okay. He's muted himself, and it's still playing. Right. This might take a wee while for him to get set up. Also, because he's talking about trying to change the fucking screen about to make his dumbass fan art fit properly and all that shit. So we do have some time. As I said, we're going to begin when it starts recording. The bingo ends, sorry, when it starts recording. We were debating whether to include face jiggle he doesn't want the ad money. According to him, he barely gets anything, but then again, it changes. It slowly changes every time. I mean, sometimes if people from Reddit visit, he gets thousands of extra dollars, and then other times he gets barely anything. So it's hard to know what to fucking believe him anymore when he's talking about fucking ad revenue. Really is hard to know what the fuck he's talking about anymore these days with that shit. But yeah, we are close to Bingo several ways, but we're just waiting for him to either say something or do something. Remember, Face Jiggle was on the fence. Remember earlier on the stream, we were debating whether to include Face Jiggle, and we said we'd come back to it. It was a very minor face jiggle. He did shake his head a wee bit, but it wasn't overly elaborate, you know. It wasn't like pretending to be a wet dog trying to get dry kind of face jiggle. It was a very minor, just like no multiple head shake, no kind of. It was like a distinguished face jiggle. So that one is still up for grabs, in my opinion, to include. But it's up to chat. I'm tapping out. Phil has bored me to sleep. Alright, Dashy. Also, I think before you head off, is the face jiggle, should it be confirmed or tick? We were on the fence with it before. People thought it was like a very minor jiggle. It wasn't a massively elaborate one. But I think it was a jiggle in its own right. But we said we'd come back to it at the end. For sanity's sake, yes. Well, in that case, I mean, if everyone else agrees to it, we'll always have one bingo to celebrate. D-Dog says giggle. Jiggle for a giggle, I guess. Yep, jiggle. People are saying jiggle. I mean, hang on, what things? I never saw it, but I would count it. Thank you, Mew fan. I wish I could rewind it as well, but fuck, I can't mind exactly when it was. But I'm including it. It was a minor face jiggle, in my opinion, and that means we've got bingo, which means I'm going to play it. We got a bingo after all, just about barely. Imagine we fast forward this a wee bit. Here we go. Phil's back. We'll see if we can get anything more.
Can we do a poll? A lot of people don't want off-center gameplay. We don't have to do it. You want to scrap that idea then? You want? Oh, that's not what I wanted to click. I wanted to click this. Want to just scrap it and have my camera up in the corner somewhere? We don't have to do it. It was just an idea. By the way, my camera's like really big, right? I'll just make it a little smaller. Don't do it? Okay, forget it. It was just an idea. A fan had submitted that and said, hey, you know, if you want to do this, because I know that it's 4:3 instead of widescreen, it might be something interesting. But if you guys don't like that, we don't have to do it. All right? What's going on? I was pissing. That's what's going on. But now I'm back. Ah, itchy. Yoshino Lover, what's up, man? He says he's excited. We're all excited, right? We're all excited individuals. But he's excited for Final Fantasy VII. All right, let's get this, get the headphones going. Okay.
We might get more. Hold on.
All right, guys, ready?
Oh, it might be starting recording the sign now, it looks like.
Let's go. I'll record. I'll do a tiny bit of an intro for the YouTube-only viewers, people who are not on the stream. And then we'll get started. Okay, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen.
Fuck that shit, it's over. Now, officially, we are going to end the DSP pre-stream podcast bingo. We managed to just about scrape a bingo on the end of it here. Hey, Give More Blood, how you doing? Guess what, Give More Blood. Guess what I bought today, Give More Blood? As a welcome home present, Give More Blood. Guess what I bought myself? You'll never guess what I bought myself. As a little reward, a little treat for myself. You guessed it. Somehow, against all the odds, you guessed it. I bought a 10-pack of tea cakes, Give More Blood. 10-pack. And you know what I'm going to do once the stream ends? I'm going to eat 2 of them. Because I'm a fat bastard and I've not had tea cakes in ages. I seen it in Asda, I thought, you know what, I'm back in Scotland, I've not had tea cakes for ages. I'm going to have some goddamn tea cakes. Yeah, Mr. Bingo, you didn't miss much. This has been a long ass fucking stream for me. 3.5 hours. Don't usually go this long, but Phil got me going. What can I say? Phil got me raging at times, and I had to just pause and rant and, you know, verbally explain why I'm annoyed with Phil. The usual shit. Guys, thank you very much for attending the stream. I do appreciate it. I appreciate the subs, the support as well. Thank you, D-Dog, for your super chat earlier on. It will be put to good use eventually. Strong coffee at one point, hopefully. Who knows? Or Lucozade, you know. I use Lucozade sometimes as well to keep myself awake. Especially for, like, work purposes. It's good. But, yeah. Well, thank you very much, guys, for attending the stream. You know, I appreciate it. You know, we managed to get a wee bingo in the end. I might go back to doing the free space. You have to watch on demand. Hey, if you enjoy it on demand, cool. So by all means, you know, hope you enjoy it. Yeah, what I might do tomorrow, I plan to do bingo tomorrow, and I might bring back the free space snort. I don't know. We in the past we've also had the free space where the middle square is snort, and for the last couple of streams I thought it might have been too easy at times, so I've removed snort. But today it was really hard to get a bingo. It was strange, so but we might need to review it as well. So I might start earlier tomorrow. I might start earlier to try and we'll see if we can get people turned up a bit earlier as well. And we can actually go over the bingo card and we can maybe decide if anything needs to get removed, whatever. Because I've been away a whole week, remember? Bring back this snort. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've been away a whole week, so maybe there's things that are not relevant anymore compared to last week. Maybe there's things I need to not include in the bingo card anymore. Maybe there's things I do need to include. So you guys can help me out with that for sure. I mean, we can even do it right now if you want, very quickly, just to get a couple of ideas in there. Like, let me change the. Let me go full screen on that bastard, and let me go to the notepad file. This is the whole thing, guys. The most recent thing I've added was voted. Because he keeps talking about member polls and all that shit, you know what I mean? But is there anything here that you don't want to see anymore? Or is there anything here you want to see added? I did the comments, I've got a bingo. Raven needs to be there. Now. Him saying now. That's a bit random and out there.
Money, money.
Oh
yeah,
shit.
Yeah. Money, money. Oh, money, money. Yeah, yeah. Money, money.
Thank you for the sub, Empty Moon. And yeah. Now every stream. I mean, it seems a bit generic. It's like, now. Nah, I think it's a bit too generic, including now. No, the thing is, though, somebody said it earlier on, excited. Every pause he says, now that's what I'm saying though, it's far too generic. It's like him saying hello. He said I've been craving every stream when he's talking about RPGs. You know what, we'll throw it in there, Craving. And also excited. How's that? There's two new things there. Is there anything people want removed? I will go through the list one last time for everyone's sake. I've already got defense mode in here. Or do people want defense mode removed? Where he tries to defend himself and try to retcon something. But for the sake of people seeing, hearing what's there, I'm going to go through the whole list one more time. Which I usually do in a very fast manner because it's, I don't know, let's go for it. So from the start. Big breath in. Everyone is saying, nice cat talk sound good. Twitter, my wife, Jasper, okay, alright. Help talks to derail my cheerful top burp. Touch pulling nose, let smack member strike support, fuck family time, digging in the ear, positive content, leaning band, day off, crowdfunded, YouTuber, jealousy, comment, bum, goes up, soundboard, chill, go, throat clear, informed, transparent, idiot self, back, defense mode, Twitch, people saying, years ago story, nobody, no one behind the scenes, answer the hair, jammer, hateful swords, touch his face, YouTube, like a silly on-demand engagement, you guys, shares variety, cheers, creek, that being said, interactive bills like $20, and tips, it is what it is, reality, bottom line is, meaning full, I'd argue, you know what I mean, page to go on, flail, Reddit, gifted memberships, react, YT, pose, attractive trolls, new games, rally, leg slap, dead air, voice crack, shocked, here's a deal, friend, take to say, choose Neil stands up edition, thumbs up, like, voted, craven, excited. I think that's everything. Is there anything there nobody wants? It's a big list. And I'm being told. He hardly mentions Twitch anymore. It's a good point. Twitch could be a good one to get rid of. He doesn't really say Twitter either, annoyingly. He'll talk about gaming news, not shit, but he'll never mention that he goes on Twitter for it. I feel like no Twitter and no Twitch might be a good move. So we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of Twitch. I'm being told. It's one of those things where, you know what? I'm going to do right now, actually. I'm going to go on Pig Go right now. So, I'm being told there are 887 results for I'm being told. How many have happened in the year 2022? Well, it's I should be able to actually check that, actually. 2 seconds. From the 1st to, what's the date? I'm just encode it. So this year, Phil has said, I'm being told. I'm waiting for the results to load. 2 big bills. Bills is on there, to be fair, I'm pretty sure. Bills, I think, is on there. Pig Go is just loading results here because I filtered it for specific dates. It takes a while when you date filter it. He does point at the camera quite a bit. He does, aye, but that's why I included his thumbs up, because he usually does like a thumbs up to the camera as well. Like, he does like a sound good, and he puts his thumbs up to the camera. Just forcing as well on people. I don't think. I'm still waiting for Pig Go to load this bloody result. Why is Pig Go so slow when you want specific results and dates? Guys, he's got 2 big bills coming. Ah, hell. I'm just waiting for that to load still, fuck's sake, man. I just keep going through this list here, I think. So people want, he hardly mentions Twitch yet, so point at the camera. So you think camera point or something? So we could do something like that, camera point. Is that what you're thinking then? I'm just pointing to the camera randomly. We'll say like, you guys wanted this, you guys. Crazy late fees, I'm not going to include that, no. Pig Go is taking forever to load these results, it's so infuriating. Why are you taking so long? We're just going to fucking go back away. Pig Go has been a detractor. Not a good kind. Bad kind. What did I say again? I'm being told. I'm being told. Let's go to manual search and scroll down. 2022, he said it a whole bunch in June, but it does impromptu Q&A, viewers, DSP. Well, how many times does it happen in the pre-stream? It happens in the pre-stream sometimes. Not all the time, though. Screw it, I'm going to add it. I'm going to add Third Goose suggestion. I'm being told. There you go. It's in. Back in the day, or is that too close to YouTube? It's too close to YouTube legacy story, I'd say. I think we're good in that regard. I think we were just unlucky today, guys. We're not getting multiple bingos. We've had so many, crazy bingos. Lately, some crazy bingo cards. Today was like skin of our teeth, but I think it's just the way it worked out. Sometimes we get. Phil to me didn't really feel. He didn't seem that hyper, did he? He didn't actually seem that invested in his own stream. It just looked like he was going through the motions. Am I just crazy for thinking that? Or does Phil genuinely seem like he was like kind of just phoning it in, you know? It really just seemed he couldn't be arsed. Most of his answers to any questions were, I don't know. He didn't seem to really care. I don't know why, it's a weird one. To me, this was just I blame Phil. I blame DSP for Bingo not being as successful as it was. And we barely got a bingo in the end of it. I blame DSP. Boring bastard. Not being arsed to do his own damn job. Yep. It's DSP's fault. Anyway, guys, I am going to end things there. I've been going for fucking 3 hours and like 40 odd minutes. Way too long. But guys, thank you for joining the stream. Appreciate the support, appreciate the turnout. Thank you for joining me. My first stream back from holiday. And thanks for all your support again, guys. I really do appreciate it. I'll catch you tomorrow. And I'll hopefully we'll get like a better bingo card in terms of being able to get multiple bingos again. And I'll probably include Snort again. I'm going to include Snort again in the free space in the middle. Because people miss it, and I miss it too, not going to lie. The trolls did not lose. Let me show you. The trolls won. See, we have a bingo. Roachbait, the trolls won. We got a bingo. It just was very skin of our teeth right at the end, essentially. And it was like a technicality. It was a technical victory. But guys, I'm going to head off, guys. I appreciate it, man. But yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm out. So, catch you later.